Gracious, you guys. Hello, everyone. It is Kristi. It is Friday evening where I am. And oh my goodness gracious, we are here for a happy hour to end all happy hours. Maybe one of the best happy hours we're ever going to do here with my co-host, Kevin Logan. Are you ready for tonight?
I was fucking born ready.
Born ready. Yeah. We were saying off air that this has been an amazing 24 hours. Just absolutely amazing.
Also,
yeah.
Oh god, we said before, let's do a little less swearing, and my third word is the F-bomb.
Well, your sound dropped out, so actually I didn't hear it.
Okay, well, I'll repeat myself. I said no, I'm only joking. It's been quite an interesting 48 hours for Count Danceler and Lord fucking Smugly of Chuckles.
Oh, yes. I mean, I'm mostly focused on the Carl stuff because of our history, but Dankula's getting, I think he's going to be getting more attention shortly.
We've got the Channel 4 clip, which involves Dankula's, oh no, Danceler, sorry, let's call him by his proper name, which is a joke, by the way, based on the fact that the Sun newspaper, which is the most right-wing shithole rag in the country. Oh, stop swearing, Kev, Jesus. I'm too excited. Anyway. It's not a very nice paper. I wouldn't call it a paper. I would call it toilet paper. So right wing that it hurts. And these individuals are too right wing for them, and they called them, a Nazi. Was it a Nazi dog thug and a rape tweeter or something?
Oh, I have it. I have it. Believe me.
Yeah,
we're going to get there.
And they didn't. They didn't spell his name. They spelt it Lord Danceler with a C.
Well, I thought they were doing it like Dankular, because you know how the British people, you guys say America instead of.
But I thought it was Dancular.
Yeah, Dankular.
So it's Lord of the Danceler is what I was going to go with.
Well, I can share something. We're going to be sharing a lot of things tonight. I was in my chair an hour before showtime to get ready for this because there was just so much to cover. But I did do a completely unscientific poll of my followers, which showed that I asked them who had the worst week. Andy Worski's in real life. Go ahead.
I have to just say, I am going to butt in here because usually your polls, I'm going to say it gently, they're a little leading on occasion.
Oh, they're totally not serious.
Yeah. And so it's usually like 98% to 2%. Whereas this one was like a genuine, like, oh, hang on, who's had a worse week? I'll be honest, I voted Carl.
Okay, you did, yeah. I'm genuinely ambivalent. Yeah.
Well, I was thinking Worski himself hasn't had that bad a week because he's got quite a lot of publicity and he isn't in jail, which is odd, but there we go. His friend is in jail, but who do you think Andy Worski gives two flips about anyone else? No. So Carl's had a worse week, definitely.
I've seen it go both ways in terms of arguments. You know, like Carl stuff is embarrassing, but nobody ended up in jail.
Hang on, you've seen it go both ways.
I have.
That's what she said. That's what she said.
But I did like the wording of that I put together, which was Andy Worski's in real life cops episode on YouTube that ended in 4 criminal charges. I thought that was a bit clever. And then UKIP candidate Benjamin rape tweet becoming a mainstream British news story. Yes. So anyway,
it was. Yes. It wasn't. This isn't just like some obscure like local media and all that. Look, this was the BBC News channel here. He popped up. I was just sort of half dazing away, probably checking Twitter or something, and then all of a sudden, Carl's big stupid face popped up on the screen. What world to listen to it, and it was literally they were just ragging on him. It was so funny. Oh my god.
Yeah, well, it's ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, what he said was completely offensive, and they can't see that. Well, anyway, before we start, oh, that's right. Before we start that, we were going to establish proof of Carl's identity as Backworldsman 1.
We were, yes, because I think that's. I mean, I don't know that Carl necessarily would deny it, but just in case, and certainly there are. Some of his fans who are like, well, you can't be sure, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we can.
Yeah, and actually, well, there was two ways.
Any journalists who need receipts, we've got lots of receipts for that.
Oh, yes. So we actually brought this up in the last happy hour. I mentioned I was looking for evidence of this. And we thought we could track it down from a shared like chat show that he was on. He was talking about it. But and I've got my screen up, Kevin, now. So if you want to explain your brilliant insight. So I had found a screenshot or someone describing Carl admitting it. I'm like, okay, so I have this podcast. I think I know. But then you had this brilliant idea here, which is you see on the screen now, right? You want to talk about your brilliance, what you realized?
My brilliance, yes. We at first we couldn't find the clip of him saying, "Oh yeah, that's me," and then we found a different clip later. But this was my one, right? And what I especially love about this is it's a dual sword here, because not only does it prove it, but it blows back in Carl's face the really shitty thing he did to me by revealing this private conversation that we'd had on Twitter. So it's a kind of Schadenfreude mixed with righteous judgment. Anyway, so hang on, I'll screen share then. Right, 1 second. If oh, I don't know what I'm doing.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, so that conversation we had a private conversation. Carl decided to release that publicly, and that's him taking that conversation is him talking to me. So if we go to Backworldsman, where are we? Backworldsman 1, right? That's the account that conversation was had with. And this is the stuff we had from stream earlier, but anyway, so we had a back and forth about that. Where are we? There we go. This is the conversation that we had that you can see on the screen there, and it's the Backworldsman 1 account there. You can see.
Yep, I'll just show this is
the exact.
Yep, there's Carl's showing off the same conversation.
Yep. Hello, Carl. Blah, blah, blah. Happy to show you all of that conversation. So that's him taking ownership of Backworldsman 1 on his own channel there.
Yep. So and so you were like, Kristi, I got this evidence, and I looked at it and went, that's amazing, that's perfect. And also now that you remind me, yes, you were so annoyed that he had published these DMs, not because you said anything you wouldn't say in public, but just because it was a betrayal.
Yeah, it was meant to be like a private thing. I contacted him specifically privately because I didn't want people like swarming around the conversation and being kind of dickish about it. So I thought, well, I'll contact him privately. Hopefully we can have a calm, rational conversation. We sort of did to a degree, but then he decided to publish it publicly there, which is dumb in general and a rather shitty thing to do, but it's rather blown up in his face. But anyway.
Yes.
But we have cross-confirmatory evidence of him basically just admitting it anyway.
Yes, so then I got a DM from Bert Sperling on, sorry, let me close some of these as I go along, on Twitter. And he said...
You mean the B-bomb?
The B-bomb,
yeah.
Yes. Okay. And he said, here, watch Carl in about minute 2. Listen to what he says. So we're all going to listen and watch this. Again, we're triangulating bits of evidence. So here we go.
Quickly as I can.
I have to turn it up a little bit here.
I went to dinner this evening with my wife and the family. And my father-in-law was like, oh, you were in the news today. I was like, oh, right, how was it? He was like, funny. Benjamin PM. Not this time around, at least, but who knows? But anyway, internet troll who sent rape tweet, which is a very impressive way of framing what I said, selected as potential UKIP MEP. Man, they weren't happy, were they? I do own the internet troll thing, though. That's part of the best part of what I do. It's all my Twitter presence has ever been is a big performance piece on how to wind up the people I don't like the most. I know that's why people follow me on Twitter.
Ugly
And Backworldsman 1, by the way. Shh, don't tell anyone. It's our secret.
So there you go. So he admitted it, and we have independent verification through your conversations. Yeah.
Indeed. So, and that's important to establish because when he says, oh, well, this was 3 years ago, the rape tweet that he doesn't think is a rape tweet somehow. We'll get into that as well, I'm sure. He says, oh, that was 3 years ago. He sent the exact same tweet to you like a week ago.
3 days ago? 4 days ago now?
Was it?
I've got it up right here. Look at that. I already had it ready to go. Yeah. So this is him still using that phrase to women online. And he's not used it to men.
No, and we'll get into that when we get to the actual press conference, but that is a very good point. But like we say, it's even if we say, oh, it was 3 years ago, he hasn't apologized for the initial one, so it doesn't matter how long ago it happened. Secondly, he hasn't mended his ways, and thirdly, he's still doing it to this day.
Yep.
By the exact same thing. It's disgusting.
And we just wanted to get all that on YouTube because it's floating out there, and we don't want everybody to do the same work over and over again. So just cite this video as proof that Carl admitted he is Backworldsman 1, and we also compared a conversation and linked it to. And this is not the only time he's talked about rape on that account. I would highly suggest members of the media go through that, because someone tagged me into a reply he gave to someone that said it's rape all the way down. I don't understand. Well, I didn't read the whole conversation, but yeah, please go through that and see how he behaves on Twitter. I think the media should do that.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And we'll see later when we see the actual news conference bit, him laughing hysterically at Dankula's joke, technically, I believe. But yeah.
Oh, that Channel 4 piece. Oh, that Channel 4 piece. That was okay. We want to get there.
We'll try and let's keep our powder dry, so to speak. Let's take things in some semblance of an order rather than just scattergun, like, oh, this happened and that happened. Anyway.
Yeah. All right. So I am ready now with the next set of screenshots, which is we're going to be looking at, this was from the 18th of April. Sorry for the background traffic. And this is from data that was the latest changed. The 16th of April, and it's comparing with where the parties were in 2014, the last time there was an election. These are European Parliament voting intentions. You can see Labour is up 8 at 33% in this poll. Cons are down 6 points from 2014 at 18. The new Brexit party is up 17 to 17%.
Which has, both Brexit and Chuck, which is Change UK, have to, everything they have is plus because
they didn't exist.
They didn't then. In fact,
the Lib Dems are up 2 from 2014 to 9%. UKIP is down 22% down to 5 from 2014.
Oh. Now, I want to just put these into perspective for everyone, right? In the 2014 elections, the Lib Dems got 6.6% of the vote and got 1 MEP. Not one in each, one in total. Out of the 73, they got 1 MEP with 6% of the vote. Now, it doesn't necessarily always break down exactly that way because, for instance, the Green Party got 6.9% and they got 3 because they were more targeted in specific areas. But if you get 5% of the vote nationwide, you're going to be very, very lucky to get 1 seat.
Yeah, they're basically on par with the Greens at this point. Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna get no fuck.
Now.
So even under their usual moan about proportional representation, even under proportional representation, they're going to get no seats. Brilliant.
Now, interestingly, I thought this was interesting as well, because how people vote in EU elections isn't quite how they would necessarily vote in a national election. The considerations are just very, very different. And party loyalty probably does play a larger role for a lot of people, than not. However, I think people probably feel more free.
Well, you say that, Kristi, but UKIP is still at 5% in this one as well.
Well, this is my point, that what's interesting is that EU election shenanigans are having an impact on how people are perceiving UKIP at Westminster. And so these are also from the 16th of April in terms of the latest collection date. And you can see that I'm just going to skip down to UKIP, where they're down and the Brexit party is up and basically replacing them in terms of people's voting intentions. So when I said way long ago when Farage...
And again, Change UK. So Change UK, who are the kind of very, very pro-Remain, who didn't exist a few weeks ago, are nearly double UKIP.
Yeah.
Nearly double in like a month.
Yes.
Also, people who say, Corbyn, the evil socialisms and the communisms, he's unelectable. I'd like you to look at that poll and tell me he's unelectable.
Yeah. I was going to make a point now, but you interrupted me and I forgot it. I don't know. It can't be that important. Okay.
Well, it was a silly one. It was a silly one's point.
I remember. It was that I was right when I said when Farage left UKIP, it's like UKIP leaving UKIP. You can see the how the policy is associated with the man by how quickly people are just joining the party he's leading. Because what they want is the kind of politics, they react to his politics, not to Brexit as obviously there's the leaving parts of it and the policies they like, but they like how he talks about it. And this is what, the people at UKIP weren't getting when they drove him from the party, essentially.
Yeah, and they were so vitriolic about him leaving, and they were like, "Oh, we'll be fine without him. He's full of shit." And yet I mean, look at those numbers. They don't lie. That's UKIP are dead. I mean, they're dead as a
pretty
party.
much. Yeah, I mean, and I think it's just going to keep getting worse because the infighting is not only between the Brexit Party and UKIP, but it's within UKIP as well at the highest levels over their candidates.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, UKIP are, well, like I said, they're not just dead. They're there's no such thing as bad publicity. Well, the UKIP have not just strained that concept, but have destroyed that concept in the last couple of days. The fact that they've gotten lots of media coverage will not have helped those numbers.
No. And all of this is just going to drive, other than shitlords, most people away from the party. So I'm
guessing the shitlord vote isn't enormously stable. I'm guessing most of them.
No.
The occasional one of them might dust the Cheetos off themselves and go down to the polling station, and then realise, oh shit, I have not even registered to vote. Oh bollocks! And then, you know what I mean? Then wander back and start masturbating over Anita Sarkeesian whilst pretending to hate her or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm guessing that the shitlord vote is not a massive thing. It's not a massive. I don't see many of the major parties with electability actually, seeking out the shitlord vote.
No, but the granny vote, that's a big vote. The granny and grandpa, your slightly racist grandparents vote, that's a big vote for the right.
That is a big vote, but that's going to Brexit Party
or the Conservatives. But right, so
not even that, because I mean, if you look at the number of Conservatives
are leaving.
I mean, it was described. A former Tory minister who now sits in the Lords, and I've forgotten his name. Oh, it's annoying. Said that the trickle of leavers is now becoming a flood. They are hemorrhaging votes over this because they're so rubbish.
Yeah, the right seems to be in shambles. Although, we'll have to see. But you're right. The Conservatives are not considered a strong party right now, not getting a lot of popular support. But getting back to the Karl cavalcade of Schadenfreude, you pointed this out to me, I think, on Twitter. This thing that I'm sharing right now about the Wiltshire police.
Well, Well, I'm a big reader of the Swindon Advertiser. I get it every day. I was sort of searching around for interesting and funny quotes to put as my avatar, which you can see I found one. Well, actually, you probably can't because you're probably on your screen stuck on. So anyway, and it comes from this article, by the way. So I think just that he was.
That one comes from the article later on. This one, I don't think it comes from. This isn't the lying bit one. This is when he got investigated for his tweet.
Oh, okay. So, like I say, I read the Swindon Advertiser so much it gets blurred.
Yes.
That's the problem.
Yeah. But basically, it was just saying that someone had filed a report and the police did go and talk to him. I think you pointed out that I'm trying to find out. They said they'd basically just given him a talking to. And, oh, yes, there it is. It's very close to the top, actually. A 39-year-old man from Swindon area has been dealt with by way of words of advice.
Yeah, I kind of want to know what those words of advice were.
Well,
hopefully it was something along the lines of, stop being a prick, will ya? Fuck's sake. We don't want to have to, actually charge you with anything, so stop.
And clearly their words of advice didn't work, because he's still doing it.
No. Well, I've said this for a long time. If they don't get their own house in order, civil society have to find ways of doing it for them. Well, that sounds horrible and I don't like it, but it might have to happen.
Well, they are getting publicly humiliated now. All right. So should we actually get on to Karl doing this sort of UKIP announcement of candidates thing, part of the show?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, let's.
Not so much, Bill.
For context, right? Kate McCann works for an organisation called Sky News, well, as you can see on the screen, actually, which is actually, I'm not an element of it, but he owns Sky, B Sky B, and it's sort of a right-leaning, more generally Brexit friendly. Not necessarily entirely Brexit friendly, of course, but more Brexit friendly. So, considering this hard they're going on, imagine what the rest of the media are doing.
Right. Now, we should also say that Batten was on the Marr show on the Sunday, where he avoided, or he gave a, flippant answer or tried to just brush off Carl's comments.
Yeah,
And,
he called it, he said it was satire, didn't he?
yes.
Which is interesting when we get round to watching Carl at the actual press conference, because he gives a slightly different response, which I think you pointed out, didn't you? That it depends on what day of the week it is, what excuse he gives.
We've got
And they're
4 at
often
least.
conflicting.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So then this is what came out first. In the timeline of all the amazing stuff about Carl, this was how it started for me, at least, seeing this on Twitter.
How many times are you going to ask me the same question? Thank you very much.
On the rape joke, you said it was.
Oh, my nipples. Oh, I can't stop rubbing my nipple. They're going to be raw. I'm going to have innies by the end of this. It's ridiculous.
It's so amazing. All right, let's keep going.
Satirical comment. What did you mean by that?
Well, go and ask Carl Benjamin. This is a 3-year-old tweet that he did in the context of some Twitter trolling of what people were doing.
No, I'm not asking
and
about
Can I just point out as well what a dishonest little prick this guy is? Right?
Please?
Gerard Batten, the leader of UKIP, he does this. He goes, oh, well, ask Carl Benjamin. Okay, but Carl Benjamin then gives an even worse answer later.
That is true.
And you do this thing where you're like, well, I can't condone the action. Well, you are condoning it. You're putting this man forward as a potential member of the European Parliament, you piece of shit. You are condoning it. Own that shit.
Yeah.
Fire him, apologise or something, right? Actually force him to change his fucking ways. Or just say, yeah, I'm fine with it. I'm okay with sexual abuse if I was being taunted in this way.
Yeah.
Don't do this fucking halfway house dance where, oh, well, I don't condone it, but it was 3 years ago and it was satire. Fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, I needed to get that off my chest.
That's all right. There's going to be a lot getting off of people's chests tonight, I think. But all right, here we go.
Comments he made. I'm asking about your defence of his comments, because he remains a UKIP candidate and you are the leader of the party, and so you have made a decision to keep him as a candidate.
He has made an ill-considered remark, and if you were going to stop people taking part in public life or anything else because of some stupid, ill-considered remark of several years before, then I don't think you'd have anybody in Parliament or anywhere else.
But again, Mr. Batten, I mean, firstly, Kristi, kudos for your spotting of that and linking it to the Joe Rogan thing of it was
poorly thought out.
Which is true. But yeah, saying it's ill-considered or it's I can't condone this, but he hasn't apologised for it, and he continues to do it to this day. So saying it was 3 years ago is irrelevant.
Yep. Precisely. Yep. So I'm just going to hit play because you're right. Okay, let's keep going.
Because we all do things which we regret. He can defend it or not as he likes, but I'm not going to stop having a valuable candidate on the list, someone who can get us access to social media and thousands more people that we can talk to that we can't do through social media, where few and few
but
people
as was pointed out as well about that, so this is going to take forever to get through because the actual press conference thing's like fucking half an hour or something. Anyway, him saying, oh, well, he gives us access to these other people. For a start off, over half of his audience are in America, so they're irrelevant.
Right. Yep.
So she's not you're not valuable to UKIP, okay? There are lots of others who have been like Australia, New Zealand, so on and so forth. So that whittles it down to, I don't know, maybe 100,000 possibly.
Even if you said
which then means what? So that across the whole country, there's lots of those who are dead accounts for a start off. So you're not even going to access those. And then in terms of his particular constituency, it's not even one of the most highly populated. So most of his audience will be in the bigger cities in places like London, Birmingham, Manchester, Glasgow, which are not in his constituency. So the actual number of his own subscribers who are potentially his voters is a handful.
And meanwhile,
so how helpful is he as a commodity to you? Mr. Batten.
If you want to destroy the
It's
party,
really not.
if you want basically the digital
destroyed the
version
party
of the Black Death.
Yeah, so he's not only destroyed UKIP in the process, but has also led to you being so annoyed. And this is just at the very, very start of the political process that is this election. Like I said, the elections aren't here till the 23rd of May. So we're talking over a fucking month away. And yet Batten's so annoyed at being asked these questions that he walked out of an interview on the first day of the event, or the first day of the election. Imagine how annoyed he's going to be in 4 weeks' time, even if he sticks with Carl that long.
Yeah.
That he's going to be, he might explode. I don't know. Like it's what purpose is he serving being a candidate? It's ridiculous. He's destroyed your party. And actually, well, no, Carl is a symptom. Right? Batten and his far right garbage have destroyed the party by allowing shit streaks and Meakin and Robinson in.
Yes. Yeah. Do you want to give a little insight, Kevin, to what the British press is like if you have something that's obviously the morally right thing to do and you keep evading it and yet you're a public figure? How would they treat you?
Well, they will hound you.
Yeah.
They will fucking hound you and hound you and hound you. Because, I mean, the British press, the one thing the right wing do have correct, or the one thing that kind of the likes of Sargon and Dankula have right, is that the press will sort of twist shit to try and attack people they don't like, right? And that's sort of dishonest in its own way. But when they have something that's so open, so cut and dried that even the Sun and the Daily Mail and fucking right-wing shit rags that usually love the likes of UKIP and are happy to give, press, good press to pro-Brexit parties, they're going to hound you and hound you and hound you.
Yep.
They're going to destroy you unless you at least in part cave in by giving an apology or, doing something to placate them. They're going to hound you to a grave. Not in a literal grave, and I certainly hope that none of the people die, but to a political grave. Yeah.
And that's what I'm waiting for. So, okay, we'll try to get through this. And then I've got that headline that you were, well, actually, yeah, because it's got some of the clips from the announcement, so we can watch that part of the announcement through the Sun article. But let's watch him have a temper tantrum and walk away.
People are actually listening to it or taking notice of it. So we're seeking other avenues to the public.
That kind of comment, though, has prompted some concerns.
How many times are you going to ask me the
voters?
Same question? How many times are you going to ask me the same question?
She asked you twice. She asked you twice, and you got so angry you got her. You ran. Imagine the Sunday, because this is the thing, right? In Britain, there's the 7 weekly cycle or 7-day weekly cycle, which I mean, obviously they have in every country. But in terms of the news, where the Sunday papers are hugely influential, right, and they often have like the big splash stories on a Sunday. The Sunday newspapers are going to absolutely annihilate these fools. They just are. So I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest if after Sunday maybe they reevaluate the situation. That would be the politically sensible thing to. Well, the politically sensible thing to have done would be not to have promoted these two dickheads in the first place. Exactly. But just in terms of damage limitation, I mean, if they're still on the docket after, or still on the list after Sunday, that they've gone full kamikaze, then they have no interest in surviving beyond this election.
So here's that headline you were talking about. You want to read it out? Oh, you still there? Oh, you want to read out the headline?
Yep. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, this is, I mean, the Sun is an absolute rag and I despise it and I would never buy it in a million years. But I've got to give them this. This is a superb headline. UKIP unveils thug who taught dog Nazi salute and sicko who joked about raping MPs as MEP candidates. I'll just savor it. Yeah. I'll read that again. Because especially they've got you what as like I don't know if that's like the section or something, but that's sort of funny.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, UKIP unveils thug who taught dog Nazi salute, and sicko who joked about raping MPs as MEP candidates.
I love it.
Oof.
I absolutely love it.
Sicko. Imagine that. This is the world, by the way. Just as an FYI. Because in America they don't have national papers as such. They have like each city and stuff. Anyway, so yeah, and to be called a sicko in the headline of the largest English-selling newspaper in the world, no wonder Dankula looks like he would rather be anywhere else.
And if you tweet
literally anywhere else. And by the way, for once, like Carl, it looks relatively reasonably dressed there, whereas Dankula looks like some sort of weird hipster hobo who's got a shirt on that's too tight, looks like it's about to burst at any moment.
Yes, he does, actually.
It's a weird look, and a cross pattern thing that makes him look fatter than he is. Like, it's not a flattering look, Dankula. What are you doing, mate? Sorry, Dancela. What am I saying?
Dancela, yeah. If you look at,
and it was in that article, by the way, that they misspelt his name. Which I think they corrected, which is amusing. But look at him. Oh, God. What? 3 of the worst people.
Yes. And if you tweet it out, they have this picture that goes along with it, with the bursting shirt.
With Dankula just thinking, what am I doing? And what have I... Jesus Christ.
There's a bit of a debate online whether Carl is doing the Buddy Jesus move or if he's doing the how do you say his name again? Sorry, Bolsonaro? Bolsonaro, yeah, sorry. I'm really bad with international stuff. I know people follow it more than I do, and I feel bad about that. But anyway, because he also pulls that.
You don't care about foreigners. Yeah, that's fine. Okay.
I only have so
that's
much
fine.
processing.
You don't care about brown people. That's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, that's it.
Kristi,
right. All right.
Yeah, or it could just be pointing because he's just this really cheesy motherfucker. Stop screwing Jesus. Yeah. He's a really cheesy individual. Yeah. I'm going to use individual a lot tonight.
Individual.
Yeah, he's a real individual. This guy.
While we're here, I saw.
Yes, I'll say he could just be cheesy. But the thing is, even with Carl, right? Even when he had that nice suit on there, he still couldn't be bothered to do his tie up properly.
No,
like you're a slut. Like I want I mean, this kind of suited and booted politician idiot is a bit of an annoying thing, but I don't mind. I quite like a politician who looks like he knows how to dress himself. That's a good start.
Yeah. Get a fitted suit.
If you're going to be drawing up legislation, I prefer that you're able to draw up your own shoelaces as well. Would be good.
While we're here,
is that too much to ask?
No, I don't think so. While we're here, can we just enjoy this? Video is also available on my channel. You can watch it anytime. But can we? I put some work into this. I feel pretty good. This includes, by the way, little spoilers of. Part of what Carl says in his announcement speech. But are you okay if we just watch the ad that I proposed that Carl can circulate as his candidacy?
Yeah, this is solid stuff. Absolutely.
All right, here we go.
My name is Carl Benjamin. I'm a member of the United Kingdom Independence Party, and I'm campaigning to be an MEP.
I'm an alcoholic.
Don't elect me to anything. Don't do it. I will be a terrible elected representative. I'm going to be a giant pig. I'm a centrist liberal, and I voted in.
By the way, that's a pig snort.
That is good. That is good. And by the way, can I just say, I'm glad you pointed out that you'd be a terrible elected official, which is why I'm really glad you're not going to be one.
No, it'd be amazing if he's still he actually gets it on the ballot.
Yeah, if the people of Southwest England even have a chance to actually vote for Carl, I'll be surprised. But if they do, they won't. So it's fine.
Yeah, you're not missing anything. Really, nothing of value would have been lost. All right, on with the ad.
Campaign for Brexit. So as you might imagine, I do not actually want to become an MEP. You know, don't elect me to do shit because I'll be hammering something somewhere that I feel is important in the grand scheme of the culture war. Political correctness is for other people. I'm here to tell the truth. I'm going to be a giant dick. I will be a terrible elected representative. Don't elect me to anything. Don't do it. I'm promising you now, you don't want me to run anything. I'm going to be a giant dick. I will be a terrible elected representative.
And then...
Well, the thing is, I know he's not I wouldn't say hammering so much, but he'll be softly pounding possibly one of the masseuses in the Swindon massage parlours, possibly. I don't know.
Possibly. All right, so
I couldn't say. I couldn't put. I mean, who would have thought of engaging in activities? I'd never heard of it before.
Oh, by the way, can I just also throw this headline out here, which is amazing?
Oh, let's again drink it in, people. I hadn't seen this one. Utterly shambolic start. And the first two words, I can't even get beyond that. Utterly shambolic start to UKIP's EU election bid. That's what I mean. That should be Carl's thing on his campaign literature. Carl Benjamin, utterly shambolic.
Keep going, Kevin. You're gonna love it. Keep going.
Okay. Oh, we're reading the article, and thank you to Martine Berg Olsen, whose work we're stealing. Anyway,
not the whole thing.
The launch for who cares? The launch for UKIP's European Parliament election campaign descended into chaos. Oh, lovely stuff! As the party introduced two new quote free speech. Lead European Parliament candidates Carl Benjamin and Mark Meechan didn't even get his full name. It's Marcus, I believe. Anyway, to stay to the stage during a press conference. Yeah, that was weird because they weren't on the stage. He called them up later.
Yeah.
That's very weird. Anyway, but when YouTuber Benjamin was asked to explain why he was running as an MEP for UKIP, he told journalists, "I'm not answering your questions. I'm not apologising for anything, you dirty, dirty smear merchants." That's the way to win him over. With charm like that, Carl. This is some big-brained activity. This is some fucking Gigantosaurus Rex activity. Lovely.
Imagine this is the first time you've ever been introduced to this guy.
Yeah.
He's running for office. Yeah. I'm not answering your questions.
Well, what I loved about that as well, he goes, "I'm not answering your questions," and then turns to the rest of them and goes, "Any questions?"
Yeah.
What?
He's so...
What?
Oh, God. All right. All right. With that set up, we want to watch a little bit of this now?
Oh, is that it? Have we
yeah. I wasn't going to do the whole thing. I just thought the setup to it was amazing. There's so much we have to get through, Kevin. There's still so much.
Utterly shambolic. Oh, that's delicious. Oh, why'd you hurt me so good, Metro? Good Lord.
All right. Now, we've got this bit.
Look, I mean, Danke. Oh, you've got rid of it now, but Danke looks so angry. It's just like, oh, fuck this. What am I doing here? Because he's travelled like 400 miles to be there.
What is entertaining is to watch Batten when Carl goes off in his rant to the journalist. But I don't know how much of this we want to watch. We can always skip ahead to the good bits because we kind of know when they're going to be coming, or at least we can try to find them. But should we watch some of this?
Let's just get through it, because we wanted to kind of look at the Andy Worski thing, but if we don't get round to it, who cares?
Yeah, because the Andy Worski thing is amazing. Carl
won. To be fair,
it
is really fun. But sometimes events get in the way, and this was delicious.
Oh,
because we've been saying this stuff for years, and yet finally the media are like, "Who is this guy? Let's have a look into him." Rape tweets. What on earth is this now?
I was to the point where I was just doing a search on Carl Benjamin on Twitter and going to latest and watching normies react and going, "Oh, I love you people. You're amazing. Oh, this is what common decency looks like on the internet."
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the thing. They always say like, "Oh, well, we speak for like a silent, unheard majority." No, you don't. No, you don't. You were a bunch of, well, to use the far right's own terminology, you're a bunch of degenerates on the internet. That's all you are.
Oh, can I interrupt the show?
I wouldn't even rape you, or it depends on the child, as the sick, disgusting perversion of morality that it is.
Yes. I want to, by the way, because I've got the chat up, just want to thank John for the £5. He said he sent me a Twitter about Carl blaming feminism for the Roger Elliott stuff. And he's trying to purge it. You're right. The original is down now. I've actually done a mirror of the link that you sent me, John.
Yeah, don't worry. I've got that one backed up because I knew eventually he'd get rid of it. Yes, he blamed not just feminists or whatever. He specifically went out of his way to target Lacey Green and say that she was responsible.
I think it's time to dust that off because that's gone now.
Oh yeah, well I've got a copy. Anyone wants one? Any journalists? Any human beings? Any animals? Any minerals? Vegetables? I don't care. You can have it.
Channel. Is it on your channel?
Absolutely. Because Carl doesn't want it anymore.
No. He doesn't want it out there.
Carl doesn't want it. And we can see Carl ranting about the fucking feminist system.
Yeah, so I do have that video actually ready to go, but I uploaded like 3 videos to the Carl Benjamin with a K Carl account, and I didn't want to spam everybody's feed. So it's processed and ready to go up tomorrow. That too has been edited for swearing. So what did I use? I can't remember. It wasn't the pig. I used some other boing noise or something when he swears in that one. So thank you, John, by the way. Okay, so we'll go with the, oh, I have to hit mute. Turn that
By the way, look how many old people are amongst these.
This
look
is
how
why,
old all of these people are.
And this is why it's such a demographic disaster.
Yeah. And by the way, when I point that out, I don't want to be. I'm not trying to be rude to old people at all. Okay, you're perfectly valid members of society, and I love you all. The point being is that it's just in a room for a party. That's a really bad sign because the future is going to happen, and unfortunately, it's going to come to us all. The people in this room don't have massive amounts of time left.
Well, and also, if this is your demographic, they're not going to get, they're not going to understand the subtlety of your ironic, your use of "I wouldn't even rape you" as not being somehow offensive.
Next part.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay. Since I hit play already.
By the way, I've got to say, I hadn't noticed this before, but the woman at the front there, she is thick.
Yes, you like
thicker
big butts.
than a bowl of oatmeal.
So with that noted, let's hit play.
With that slightly misogynist tone, let's carry on. Yeah.
Right.
But I thought you'd enjoy a bit of controversy as well. So I'm going to invite 2 gentlemen to join me. These are 2 recruits.
By the way, this is just terrible external sound. So, Carl, in his video, we talked about it. We both saw him whining about the live stream and the sound, saying, "Oh, the media did a bad job." No, like the sound is the party you guys should have organized where the media would all have a place to plug into and get direct sound out of the mics. So I don't know why that didn't happen, but this is crappy sound.
When he's giving his answer, he's not. I don't think he's speaking into a microphone, is he?
There is a microphone there, but anyway, it's really bad audio, and I'm just.
But he's standing up to the side, so he's not even speaking directly into a microphone.
No,
so
you're
why
right.
would you expect the sound to be good? Like you're 6 foot away from a microphone. That's not going to work very well.
No, not very well.
That's why they have podiums. So you stand at the podium and the microphone works well and you can have your notes on the podium.
Yeah.
Like people have been giving speeches for a long time. They've worked this shit out, Carl. Come on now.
All right, here we go.
To the party under my leadership over the last year, and they are advocates and proponents of free speech, something of course that is very unpopular now in our current political climate.
Well,
yeah, it's not unpopular. Really offensive speech is unpopular. And also criminal speech. That's unpopular.
Yeah. No, this is the thing when they say, oh, it's unpopular. No, freedom of speech is still enormously popular. People do tend to like it rather a lot. They just don't like you screaming white N-words at people.
Yeah, that would be it.
I mean, is that too much to ask, really?
Apparently, if you do any criticism, you hate free speech. Because logic.
Well, that means that Carl hates free speech then.
All right, I'm going to hit play. We're only
and
22 seconds in. Yeah, they all hate free speech. Yeah. All right, here we go.
This one, of course, is Carl Benjamin, also known as Sargon of Akkad. Please come up, Carl.
See, I was slightly disappointed that the suit looked nice.
Oh.
God.
But then the tie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like.
Then the tie balanced it all out.
Was that sorry? Yeah, exactly. The tie was really poor. But I want to know, what did he do with the other suit? I'd like to think he keeps it in his wardrobe as motivation. Like it reminds him of what he used to be. You can do better than this, Carl. You're better than this. You've got the eye of the fucking tiger. Do you know what I mean? Like that's. But I mean, in reality, what morally deserved to happen was to be burned and never seen by human eye ever again.
That would have been better.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
The second one is one of the new criminals that I've recruited to the party.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's funny because he's an actual criminal. Brilliant.
He's another one. You know, that Robinson too is a violent criminal. He's just yeah, like disorderly conduct kind of in the public space criminal. Dankula. Anyway.
It has to be pointed out. Meakin has openly admitted that because he supported the bizarre. This is the bizarre thing with Dankula. He supports Scottish independence, yet is joined a party called the United Kingdom Independence Party.
Well,
genius. I mean, again, galaxy brain doesn't do it justice. But he said that on the night of the independence referendum, when obviously the independent side lost, albeit relatively narrowly, he came across some celebrating Remain supporters who he and his friends set upon and beat up because they happened to politically disagree with them.
And the mask dropped.
And was open and honest about this. Didn't apologise. Didn't express any regret for it. So he's violent as well. He just wasn't convicted for it.
On video somewhere?
Of him saying it, not the actual incident.
No, but of him describing.
I mean, I'd have to dig it up. I've talked to him about it and stuff, and he's never denied it. So I don't think we're gonna have a problem with him like suing us or anything.
No.
He's
just
open that happened.
Yeah, that also might be a good thing to curate in terms of the video clip. So, all right, I'm gonna hit play.
Yeah, although I'm less bothered by Dankula because he's so far down the list in a place where they're going to get no votes at all. That I mean,
I agree.
Although this rape joke, I kind of feel like I want to stick the boot in as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think he's put himself into the proverbial crosshairs by doing that rape joke. So
yeah, and never apologized.
I feel like he needs a little bit of a taste of the utterly sham medicine, so to speak.
Yes. All right, let me hit play here.
And he has some tattoos, although he still has his hair, I have to say.
Oh.
And that, of course, is Mark Meehan, also known as
yeah, not that much left.
Count Dankula, who is now famed for having taught his dog to do a Nazi salute, which, of course, as we all know, is a serious criminal offence, or at least.
Really? This is where he wants to make a stand? Really? A leader of a party?
Yeah, this is the hill he's chosen to die on. Joking about gassing Jewish people. Brilliant.
Wow.
Amazing.
UKIP is led by someone.
But they haven't got a problem with anti-Semitism, obviously.
He might be the worst party leader in modern history in Britain.
Theresa May's pretty bad.
Yeah, but her party still exists.
To be fair,
her party is still in government.
Her party still exists.
People aren't fleeing it to join another party.
Yeah.
So,
and even though their vote has collapsed, it's still gonna dwarf what UKIP will manage.
Yes. Yeah.
True.
Okay. Go ahead.
It was under the Nazis anyway. It's also a serious criminal offence in Scotland now, so I believe.
We let that homeless guy in. What?
The questions and answers. Now, I'll tell you what, chaps, let me do something.
Also,
yeah.
I just got to say, firstly, who let the homeless man in?
You mean at the edge of the stage? What?
Yeah, that guy on the left there.
This one?
Are they doing like a homeless outreach program thing? I don't know. But secondly, he says he's still got his hair. Barely.
That's like a mohawk.
That's a receding issue going on there. Again, nothing wrong with receding. Just saying, it's not entirely accurate to say he still has his hair. It's partially accurate, but you're bending the truth there.
You're bending it a bit, yes. Oh, we did get the Buddy Jesus moment. Yeah. I just wanted to. I wanted to see. I hadn't seen that live until this. I've just gonna let it run, but be quiet because it's just Batten sort of rattling on here. What a dick.
That is. Oh God. The fucking cringe, the boomery cringe of it all. What are you doing, you tosser? What the fuck is wrong with you? Look at that. That is smugly chocolate personified.
That is.
Look at him.
Yeah.
And Dankula's just like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here.
Did Carl say on his live stream that he had been drinking before this? That Dankula had been drinking before this? Or was that the night before? I don't know.
I don't know, but Carl said on his live stream he wasn't drunk when on the actual live stream when he clearly was. Because you don't talk like that normally, Carl. You were clearly drunk.
Contradicting himself within a few minutes of what he was saying. Oh yeah, he was pathetic on that live stream. If we get that far, that's just a pity party. But yeah, all right. I'm sorry. I'm just mesmerized by how cringe he is. Okay, I'm gonna hit play now. So, I don't want to really listen to Batten, so I'm kind of hoping. Oh, there we go.
Oh, because you guys are severely mismanaging the country. I mean, really, I'm just here to kind of mock the legacy media. Your guys.
This is how he's introducing himself to the British public. Look at Dankula.
Yeah. Yeah. That's again, Carl. Why are you expecting anything else when that's how you start off with? Do you think the press are going to go, "Oh, well, that's fun. We'll give you a fair shot then"? No. I mean, again, it's big-brained. It's so big-brained. Kristi, our brains are so small by comparison that we just don't get this underwater 4D backgammon chess fucking hopscotch he's playing.
It's
so.
He never talks about the concerns of the British people or, the EU or why it's important. He just gets up there and he does his shitlord shtick.
Yeah. Also, the concerns about the British people, again, Labour are absolutely pissing it away in holes and UKIP are nowhere. So again, who represents the will of the British people, Carl?
Yeah. So he's just going to get up there, insult the media. Like, okay, I'll just hit play.
Your numbers are going down every day, and our numbers are going up, right?
So now he's putting himself up against people who have national newspapers as a YouTuber.
Also, yeah, Carl, you're an idiot because, their sales of actual physical newspapers are going down. But actually, people are actually more engaged with their online content than they ever have been before.
Yep.
So their numbers are actually increasing as well, overall.
And he goes about his subs, but he doesn't talk about his views. You should really look at his views. He's not getting 1 million views on his videos. All right, hitting play.
Like combined, the YouTube is getting like 30 million views a month. You're dying. It's because do you know what your rating is on Trustpilot, business review site? 84% 84% 1 star for the BBC.
So now he's citing some internet ratings poll that he found online the night before, when in his live stream he describes that he decided that night before to just attack the media and go out attacking. That was going to be a big brain strategy for this press conference.
Yeah, exactly. Big brain. And he makes it out sound like that's not just these normal thing. Like this is some brand new innovative thing he's come up with. No, this is just your same routine.
Yeah, it's an ad pop fallacy. I'm more popular than you, therefore I'm right, which isn't even true. He's just saying you get bad ratings on a website, and therefore I'm better than you. And he thinks he's winning here. He thinks he's being awesome and clever, and he's getting one over on the media.
Yeah.
That's what.
Yeah. And ultimately, he's playing a really dangerous game with his career as well, because it wasn't until the Wall Street Journal post came out about the Nazis giving to charity thing that the Ralph Report got taken down. If you're going to press these buttons and the media go after you, Carl, YouTube might just have to act to avoid like a second adpocalypse or whatever. That's
true. That might be why he's scrubbing his back catalog. So, all right, hitting play.
9% 1 star for ITV and 72% 1 star for Channel 4. I don't care what you say. You are just smear muchers. Not one of you can tell me what I believe. Not one of you knows. But all of the public know, because they can go to my YouTube channel, Saga McCad, and just watch for themselves. I've been doing this for 5 years. I have nearly 1 million subscribers.
He really thinks his shit don't stink. Does he?
Yeah, I mean, you know how we've been pointing out for ages that it's a really smug piece of garbage? This isn't dispelling that.
Nope, not at all. Oh, man.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. This is what he is introducing himself to the public as is, I've got 1 million subs on YouTube. All right, anyway.
And everyone's like, yeah, but we still don't know who you are.
Yeah, precisely.
You're saying you don't know what I believe. Well, what do you believe then, Carl?
He's not gonna.
You're not actually telling anyone anything. Like you were assuming that anyone knows who you are or anything about you, and they don't. So tell them. This is a press conference. Tell them something.
He lives in his own little bubble, and he thinks the media just showed up in his bubble, you know, where he's the king.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Okay. Hitting play.
Just go and have a look. I'm not answering your question.
Oh, yeah. A big fish in a small
So why are you
pond.
at a press conference? Why are you at a press conference if you're not going to answer questions? What's the point?
Yeah.
That's not really a conference. That's just a speech at that point.
Yes. Right.
I'm not apologising for anything. You dirty, dirty smear merchants. Get there.
Whereas blaming Lacey Green for the murders that Elliot Rodgers did, that's not a smear. That's fine, apparently.
Well, when he says it, Kevin.
When he said that the alt-right hadn't murdered Heather Heyer and that she died of a heart attack, that wasn't a smear, clearly, obviously. No, that's fine.
Yeah. I thought we'd skip the Dankula bit because I wanted to get to the questions. That's all right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see if this is
I'm going to let Kirsten choose the questioners, and then we will do our best to get as many as possible.
Okay, if you'd like to let me know who you are, who your question is for, I will take by hand. So, yeah. Victoria McDonald from Channel.
Okay. Should we watch the Channel 4 thing now? Before we watch his response to this?
Yeah.
Okay. So let me go to that. Got that queued up. Look at all the homework I did.
Yeah, and I'm gonna walk across the room and close my curtains whilst we're doing this.
Okay.
So
Yep. Go ahead. Just let it.
I can still talk, and you can still hear me.
Yeah, we can still hear you, Kev. Oh. They're blind.
It's dark, and I don't want weird faces at my fucking window looking in.
Oh, all right. All right.
Because I'm hot stuff, obviously.
Well, clearly, Sargon can't get enough of you. Carl can't get enough of you. What we're about to watch comes from Channel 4.
It's undoubtedly. Yeah.
It's up on. Look for my porn. No, you guys, as I said before, if you want to hide anything, you just use incognito mode. Like, we'll explain this already. Sorry, I just got distracted by the chat. You can see this up on Channel 4, but I want to be very fair use about it. So I took down my own version and cut it up a little bit so we'd have less of a problem. I didn't want us to be on their channel broadcasting it and get one of those warnings up. So this is amazing. I've clipped it down to just the relevant bits. So we'll watch the first part of the story, just introducing the sorry state of UKIP today. I don't know what the volume is going to be like, so we'll go. It might be super loud. We'll see.
It was 5 years ago when UKIP took the most seats at the European parliamentary elections. Now only 3 of those 24 MEPs still represent the party.
3 of the 24 that got elected are still there. Still members. Wow.
Oh, 1/8. They've got 1/8 of the seats left. Oh, God almighty.
Yeah.
And bizarrely, they've got 3 seats now, and they probably won't have in a month's time.
No.
They'll have even fewer.
Yep, because of the candidates they're fielding. Okay. Yeah. All right. Pleading play.
And the leader, Nigel Farage, has gone. Still, they fight on.
Although I should point out if we just skip back a few seconds to when he sat down.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on a second. Where he sat down. 1 second. There we go. Oh no, well, if he's the shot after that.
Okay, I'll just hit.
Because the guy whose face you can just see there, him there. That's Neil Hamilton, I believe, who was member of Parliament a long time ago and is now a member of the Welsh Assembly, and was found guilty of the Cash for Questions scandal, where he took money to ask questions in Parliament because he's a corrupt piece of shit.
Oh.
Just a little bit of historical context for you there. Sleazy party from start to finish.
Wow, I didn't know that. Thanks for that. Yeah, a little tidbit there. Okay.
I remember that one of the earliest scandals I remember as a child.
Okay. All right.
Still, they fight on.
UKIP is the authentic party of Brexit.
Mr. Batten has proved a controversial party leader.
So yeah, I inverted the screen again to avoid getting done for by the channel.
No, it's okay. It's Swen 4.
Yeah, that's what it is. All right.
Repeating his belief that Islam is a death cult and taking on former English Defence League founder Tommy Robinson as an advisor. And there are questions now over his choice of some of the new candidates. Carl Benjamin on the left, a YouTuber known as Sargon of Akkad, and Mark Meekin, or Count Dankula.
Did she say Sargon was on the left?
Yeah, that was wrong, wasn't it? No, because you've inverted the screen.
Yes. Then I realized there was text, so I had to uninvert it. So, because otherwise it would look terrible for the rest of the segment.
Well, yeah, but I mean, to be fair, I think we would have known what this tweet was.
Yeah, but there's more.
And also anti-rape threats. The fact that it's got threats there is weird. And feminism is cancer. Like, no one even focuses on that bit. That's disgusting. Especially because now the world's finding out that actually it's you that's the cancer, Carl.
Yeah, that's one of his defenses. It's anti-rape threat. I was being childish or condescending, or it was satire, or other things that we'll see. All right.
Or speech and the limits for it and all of that. Well, which one was it, Carl? And I still want to know from the motherfuckers who say it was satire. What are you satirizing?
Yep.
What's the satire of exactly? You can't just say it's satire. What is it satirizing?
They can't explain that. If you ask them, they cannot explain that. I've tried.
Yeah, because they're full of shit.
Yep, because they're full of shit. Because nothing is being satirized. He's just being offensive on purpose.
Yeah, we later with the Dankula joke. They say, "Oh, it's a joke." Well, that doesn't alleviate. You're arguing, therefore, what the jokes mean nothing. Because I mean, if anything's devaluing comedy, it would be the idea that jokes don't translate any meaning whatsoever. Like sometimes it's just meant to be silly, of course, but when you're talking about rape, I can't imagine that's like a silly slapstick humor. Whenever you joke about something like that, that's going to be dark and serious.
And speaking of dark and serious, when we're getting onto some stuff here, we're going to see a clip of them talking at a show the night before the press conference that they're attending in Sargon's video. And what is discussed is disgusting, if I can use it that way. So,
yeah,
as
exactly.
A warning.
Like trigger warning, content warning. Yeah, it's the comments upcoming are pretty horrific.
Right. Because if you've signed on to this and you're following it, you know about the tweet and what it says. But I was shocked. I was shocked. My mouth fell open and stayed open for several seconds when I heard what we're about to hear.
Although with Dangler's joke as well. He has claimed that they taken him out of context. Okay. I asked him, he claims that there's a middle part of the joke. Like he said that you showed the opening line and then the punchline, but you didn't show the. So I said, okay, what's the full joke then? He didn't respond. No, he's getting more traffic than he usually would, but that motherfucker always responds to me.
Yeah.
Like even when I don't want him to, even when it's about something like I've tweeted out that thing about the people from Anatolia coming over to Britain and their descendants built Stonehenge and all of that, and he responded to that. He wasn't hooked into it, but he fucking responded to it. Whereas now I'm asking him for the evidence that he claims is there, that there's some wider context here. Although I can't imagine for a second what the context is that makes rape jokes okay. But he says there's some sort of context, and he's full of shit.
Yeah,
clearly. Like but he knows most of his followers won't check; they'll just believe.
Of course, because they're so skeptical, those types, and they're so into evidence and not feelings. Yeah. All right, so with that warning, here we go.
First, Mr. Benjamin. 3 years ago, he tweeted this about a Labour MP: "I wouldn't even rape you," at Jess Phillips. Last night in West London, a Channel 4 News producer was at a performance where he was asked how well Mr. Batten had handled questions about that tweet.
Honestly, if I were Jared Batten, I'd been like, well, I wouldn't even either.
That wasn't the offensive part, but I'm just pausing it here so we can all take in what a scumbag he is.
Offensive. To be fair, that is pretty offensive as well.
Yeah.
But it's not. But that's the thing. That will seem tame by comparison to what you're about here.
Correct.
But yeah, that's disgusting. And again, you can't say, oh, 3 years ago. He's basically just reiterated the point.
Yeah.
Mr. Batten.
It's still as fresh as it was 3 years ago because he hasn't stopped saying it.
Yeah, and also the fans of Dankula and Smuggler are such fucking garbage. That got a round of laughs, that comment, even though it was the least funny thing I've heard.
Yeah.
Since fucking, I don't know, stubbing my toe or something. Oh.
Smuggling was much funnier than that. All right, hitting play.
Yeah.
Seriously though, I'm going to get in so much trouble. I think he handled it well. I mean, it was a form of satire, you know.
And Mr. Meekan fined
Was it? Was it?
Yeah. Oh,
what was the satire exactly?
I thought it was an anti-rape tweet. That's what it says in the tweet.
Yeah, exactly. What was the satire? Again, Carl, please do answer me. What was the satire? In what way was it satirical? Please do tell me. I'd love to hear.
All right. So now we get the other half, which is worse than the first half. So
£100 in 2018.
This is Carl here, by the way, hunched over because he literally can't even be bothered to give the energy to sit up.
I don't know if
he's
that's
literally
true,
such a lazy prick. He can't even be bothered to sit up in a chair. This is the human form equivalent of just reading a headline.
All right, I'm going to hit play now.
For filming a pet dog giving Nazi salutes. Last night, he said this.
I've been a student. Most of you have probably been students. We were poor, weren't we? You couldn't afford a hookup, so you had to rape. I mean, it's even worse if you're a female student because not only are you poor, but you're always getting raped.
And just remember, as someone pointed out on the internet, these guys go on and on about rape gangs and how offended they are and how terrible it is and how they are working so hard to stop it because they take it so seriously. Do they?
But that's what you're missing, Kristi, is that those are brown people. They don't like when brown people rape because they can use that to attack brown people. But when white people are raping, that's fine.
Right.
Also, Dankula, if you were a student, I would ask for your money back because you've learned nothing.
Yeah, it's always interesting to see, like with Sam Harris's quote being circulated again about raping white women. Like, why white women? Why? Where does this underlying stuff, Yeah, because it's out there from dirtbags like these guys. Anyway, so we're going to see a little bit of the press conference. I guess we don't necessarily have to watch Carl doing it again if we watch it here. But there might be more of it. Yeah. I don't know if you know some more bits, but maybe we'll hit the highlights just from the Channel 4 segment. So here we go.
Go back to today.
Yeah, just in the Channel 4 thing.
Okay.
Batten invited both men who are UKIP candidates to come to the stage, where we asked about last night's comments.
I'm going to say that Carl really gets aggressive, and then the reporter looks shocked and a bit taken aback and actually flustered at how aggressive he came at her. Now, of course, Carl is a very petty man, and he's using all his advantages here. 1, he's decided to go after the press. 2, this is going to be a woman asking him a question. 3, it's going to be a hostile question. And 4, he's in an elevated position above her where he can shout down over her. And he does all those things. And did you see David Baddiel? David Baddiel commented on this clip of Carl.
No, what did he say?
He basically said, "You don't look like you're telling a joke. You look angry."
Yeah.
It says words to that effect.
He is.
But that's a pretty big name to notice, I thought. Anyway, let's watch this quite aggressive exchange that's about to happen.
You were, when asked about Jared's handling of the rape tweet, you said, honestly, the tweet, a question about rape of a Labour politician.
There was no question about rape. That's a lie, and I'm not going to accept that phrase. No, I'm not accepting that phrase.
Okay, tell me.
Watch how he gets like, no, I'm not going to accept this. He just gets all sort of like, he decides like, this is where I'm going to make my stand.
Well, it says rape tweet, because again, notice she said rape tweet. She didn't say rape threat. She said rape tweet. The tweet about rape, and it was.
And it's being referred.
That's how the accurate description.
Yeah. That's how it's being described in headlines, because it was a tweet about rape. It wasn't a rape threat tweet. It was a tweet that had rape in it, and it was about, I wouldn't even rape you. So it was a rape tweet. So Carl, of course, is just taking offense for the purposes of giving a justification to go on the offense here.
Yeah.
how I should.
wouldn't either. That's not a threat. It's not a promise of action. It's actually
Hang on,
just
but Carl, she didn't say it was a threat.
Yeah, no.
Or have you
she didn't.
mentioned threat? She didn't say threat.
That's a lie, and she's not going to accept that characterization.
Yeah, exactly. Ridiculous.
It's
What
a how soon.
idiot he is.
It's the game you play where how soon can you take something that Carl said and turn it back on him? You know, that was a pretty quick one.
That was.
All right, hitting play.
Okay, thank you. The
I'm
second.
not going to be apologising for my crimes against political correctness. I hate political correctness.
The second.
Carl, it's got nothing to do with political correctness. It's
Yeah.
got to do with basic decency.
Yeah.
Basically, not being a horrible piece of shit and using the fact that you know someone was a victim of sexual assault and using that to goad and jibe them.
Yep. And a lot of other people, most people get why that is weird, creepy, and says more about you than her, except for you and your followers.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Second one was to Mark, who was. We were all poor students, weren't we? We couldn't afford a hookup, so we had to rape. Words if you're a poor female student.
Again, the fact that Carl's laughing so much at that's not a 3-year-old tweet. That's right there in front of your face, Jared, and you're smiling.
And that's not, I don't even think that's genuine laughter. I think that's nervous laughter. It's so exaggerated.
Oh, God, yeah, of course. No one laughs like that.
No.
Unless you're on coke. Oh, sorry, I'm not saying that.
But yeah, that's how they decided to react in that public forum to comments they made. It's just, this is why the party is going down in flames. It's a dumpster fire.
Because normal people will watch this and think, these are children.
Yep.
Look at them. Look at the way they act and stuff. These are petulant little school children doing silly jokes, but about rape. I mean, look, do you think you come off well from this, guys? This is ridiculous.
Yeah, and they actually do. They actually do. All right, hitting play.
Not only are you poor, you keep getting raped.
Well, actually, I'm not sure they do think they're coming off well. They're going to bluster it out because that's all they've got. It's the Donald Trump thing of never admit defeat.
Yeah.
But I don't think they actually do think they've come off well from this. I think they know how terrible it is.
Yeah, Carl would have been so drunk last night on air.
So ridiculously defensive. Have you seen them whinging like little bitches on fucking Twitter? Pathetic.
Well, I can't see Carl suspended. What a time for him to get himself suspended on Twitter.
Oh no, how am I going to manage the narrative?
Yeah. And meanwhile, I'm trolling him. Other people are trolling him. A lot of people are banting his name about, and he can't be on Twitter to try to control the narrative. It's it's so good. All right, here we go.
Are you willing to associate yourself with comments on rape?
I wasn't at the show. I don't condone any comments.
Again, look at him, the little fucking weasel on the right. I don't condone. Yes, you do. They're still on the stage next to you. You're not acting with any semblance of censure about this. You are allowing it to go.
Now let me ask you a question. Let's just completely change. Let's change the actors, but keep the situation. Imagine it was like Barack Obama and some state governor and 2 candidates who were running on a ticket. And Barack Obama made a move over to the mic and started to speak into it. Do you think the 2 Democratic candidates would just keep talking over him? Do you notice how little regard they pay, how little attention they even pay to Batten here?
Well, because they essentially run the party now, it seems.
That does seem to me
they're able to get Robinson in there, even though Robinson is, by the constitution of UKIP, not allowed in because he was a former BNP member. So he's not allowed in, but he's allowed. He's now a consultant, special advisor, yeah. Oh. And these 2 motherfuckers, because they're the only thing that were financially keeping UKIP afloat, have managed to weasel their way onto tickets, and so essentially, they are running UKIP basically.
But it's just amazing to me that they're paying him absolutely no regard in terms of deference or having him speak for the party or whatever else in this situation. Amazing. Okay.
Jokes about that. This was part of, I believe, a stand-up comedy show.
So what?
Well, no, because you were sat down for a start off, so it definitely wasn't stand-up comedy, and it wasn't really comedy. And it was more funny. Like sit down hate speech.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
And they kind of basically interview two women who
They
are like
interviewed two old women who were standing for them. Yeah.
yeah, like disavow.
Yeah.
All right, so this is more typical UKIP.
Now UKIP candidates sharing the stage with these men think.
I have to trust Gerard that he's doing the right thing on
He's
that.
not.
You think that rape is worthy of comedy?
No, I don't. No, I don't.
He's really winning over his own people.
Also, I like the postures. No, I don't. No,
No.
How do they get on without jaw lines? It's ridiculous.
Okay, and then the other reaction.
You're telling me that you're worried about these men out on rape charges, and yet you have people making light of rape.
Can I just say, please ask Carl Benjamin, I don't even know what he said.
Well, that's a lie, because you were in the room and you were told out loud by people what he'd said. You lying bull. What happened to the man on the right there? Has no neck.
This guy.
Literally no neck at all. That's amazing.
I wonder if he's related to Thunderfoot.
I would. No, but Thunderfoot stole his neck. That's why Thunderfoot's neck is so big. He's got all of that man's neck. Okay. I wonder if that was some sort of industrial accident. He got put in a compactor or something. I don't know. He used to be 7 foot tall. Anyway. Oh, I shouldn't, because I mean, I'm sure he's actually a horrible person. So his looks should come into it. He's a member of UKIP, so I could probably attack him for being the disgusting piece of garbage that he is, rather than being a slightly squat, weird-looking chap. Anyway.
Yeah, stick to the intellectual
Oh, look,
disagreements.
old Token in the middle there. Hello, Toke. How you getting on, mate?
All right, so I think there's only a few. There's a little dig, I think, on the way out, and one more picture of Carl, and then it fades out. So, yeah.
Mr. Batten says UKIP is now the party of ordinary, decent people.
No.
And as
no.
Stop. Oh my God.
Look at that. As soon as he's off stage, he took the tie off. He didn't even bother keeping the tie on.
No, he's not professional.
Again, he is the human form of just reading the headline.
Yeah.
He is the human embodiment of that concept.
Summon the local party in Swindon to deselect Carl Benjamin.
That's well, we've already seen, yeah, and that's the beauty of his own local party saying they don't want him, which is the quote, by the way, that you have in they want to deselect him. Is that he literally you need your own party in your local area to be your base, right? That's where your strength is going to come from. His base want him to go.
Yes, they do. They don't like
your
him.
Base. The fact if you're liked by your base, then everyone outside of that area who don't know you can say, "Oh well, they like him, so I'll give him a chance," sort of thing. It's a kind of like they're vouching for your character, so to speak, right? So if your own party want you to be gone, well, because I mean the Southwest constituency is quite a long, thin thing. So the people of Cornwall, for instance, are like 200 miles away from Swindon.
Yeah.
Why would they give you the steam off their piss, so to speak, on this? Why would they give you any semblance of a chance to even win them over when your own party want you gone?
Ah, amazing. Okay, well, actually, we haven't even gotten to his proper temper tantrum yet. Just looking at the time. Yeah, we've been going for like an hour and 20. So do you want to do a little break? I actually have to track down the video of him shouting at the journalist, because there was another time he shouts at another journalist from Channel 4 that I realized I don't have.
Is that the one? I'm going to be a giant.
I'm going to be a giant?
Didn't he say, "Oh, I'm going to be a gigantic" or something? I don't know.
Oh, I'm going to be a giant. I'm going to be a giant. Yeah, expletive. Yes, that's the one. We need to watch that one, because that one then leads on to another tweet that Jess Phillips put out. So I will need that one, unless you want to talk to this bit right here. And I've stopped sharing, I think. So
well, you have to show me. You have to show me what you're talking about, Kristi. Otherwise, I can't talk about it at all. Anyway, yeah, this is from the thing. Yeah,
is it flashing for you? No. Okay, it was flashing for a second. It was weird. Okay.
Yeah, in the way it did flicker on and off, but it's fine. Okay. Anyway. So again, back to my favourite newspaper in all the world. The Swindon branch of UKIP. He even lied to them. He's such a compulsive bullshitter that he even lied to them. So if we scroll down, Christine, for a second.
Yeah, so it's a story about how he's going to be deselect. That basically, the Swindon party want nothing to do with him, nothing at all. They want to deselect him from eligibility. Do you? Oh, I think you. I know you like this bit.
Down one time.
You want in the statement.
Which bit?
But wait, in the statement to the advert, Mr. Atwater said.
Yeah, that's my this that's my thingamajig.
Yeah,
that's the quote you see there is that bit. But if we scroll down further to the bit where it shows that he's lied to his own party, which is amazing.
Yes.
Here, right. So a quote from Mr. Atwater, who is the head of the chairman of the local party. No, scroll. Stop.
Yeah. Oh wow, you've got a lag. Okay.
Yeah. Right. So Mr. Atwater says Carl Benjamin joined UKIP in North Wiltshire, and his address is in Purton. Now I don't know where the fuck that is, but anyway, means he pays his taxes to Trowbridge. Again, I don't know where that is. The estate he lives on has been recently built. He only attended 2 UKIP Swindon meetings. At one, he claimed to live in North Swindon. That has turned out to be a complete lie. Again,
he lied.
This is the chairman of Swindon UKIP, right?
Yep.
This turned out to be a complete lie. We have now learned from your excellent newspaper, and I have to agree with Mr. Atwater, it is an excellent newspaper, that he claimed to be a Swindonian. He has made no other appearance or contribution to UKIP Swindon.
Of course, he couldn't get off his couch.
Again. Exactly. Again, he is the intellectual, spiritual, ethical, and moral equivalent of just reading the headline. Doing the bare minimum necessary.
Oh gosh, read his response. I missed this bit. I didn't get this far.
There we go.
Mr. Benjamin.
Yeah. Mr. Benjamin responded to this part of Mr. Atwater's statement. I've lived in Swindon for 15 years, recently moved to a new build, and saying I'm a self-publicist is rather redundant given I'm standing for office. What? Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, but being a self-publicist and being just a self-publicist is rather different, I think. I think the point he's saying is you don't care about Swindon or UKIP or the people. You're only interested in you.
Yeah.
Because you stand for office because you want to serve the people, ideally, whereas you want to stand for office to serve you. I think that's the point. Look, oh God, it's made me defend a fucking chairman of a UKIP branch. But here we go. I think he's saying you're only interested in yourself, not the party or the branch or the people or the constituents or anything. That's the point he's making, Carl, which I'm sure you're aware of. Or maybe you're not. Maybe you're just, again, too gigantic brained. It's too big brained for me to even get my head around, I think. Carl's playing on a different level. He's playing underwater fucking space polo.
By the way, I made a good faith effort to contribute. It says here, love your local journalism. You're seeing this message because you have ad blocker on. Take it off, which I don't want to do, or take a quick survey. So I took their survey and then they didn't give me they didn't take it down anyway. So do not take the survey. It's a scam, by the way. I found the...
No, take the survey and unblock ad block because the Swindon Advertiser is the greatest newspaper in the fucking universe.
Well, on the damn survey, they said, why wouldn't you pay for the Swindon thing? And I was like, it's my first time visiting. I've never been to your website before.
Yeah, why would I pay for a shitty newspaper from hundreds of miles away from where I live? That I'm not in, other than this one tiny story, I'm never ever going to be bothered about reading your shithole of a rag ever again.
Well, also,
why wouldn't I pay for that?
Yeah, I literally yesterday I did not know you existed. So
well, I'll be honest, I didn't either until yesterday. Until someone sent me the thing.
Yeah,
I ain't got a fucking clue who you were. So there you go. If anything, you should be glad we're giving you this exposure. You pathetic little rag. God, I turned on a dime, didn't I?
You went from a wonderful local paper to it being, not worthy of lining the parrot's cage.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that was a quick heel turn. Don't trust me. I'll stab you in the back as soon as I smile at you. Anyway.
So, should we watch Carl's little breakdown here? This will have expletives in it. I mean, just telling people. He's been challenged by the same Channel 4 outlet. We just
candidate to account. I should turn up at your...
Sorry, this is Sky News. Sorry, you're right.
No, it's this is Kate McCann of Sky News again, yeah.
Okay.
It was the one that Batten got up and left the left the interview
The
on.
interview, right? So she's kind of like following up on the evasion from earlier.
Yeah, because well, I saw the tweet she sent out about this, or about the when he got up and walked out of the interview. She said, "Well, okay, well, I'll try and ask him because she said Batten asked me to, or told me to ask Carl Benjamin about this, so that's what I'm going to do at the press conference." So.
Sorry for all the technical
things.
my computer's
what are you doing, Krista?
I don't know. I'm so lost. No, it's fine. No, it's fine now. I'm just trying to get.
To be fair, you've played a million clips and done newspaper adverts from the shittiest newspaper in the fucking world.
And for some reason,
you've done remarkably well.
Yeah, it's been almost a semi-professional show tonight. Yeah, but I really wanted to do this one well.
Yeah, someone said under my thing from last time, the last episode of my channel, you two really need to get your act together. And I had to point out, no, Kristi knows what she's doing. I'm the one that's shit. I'm the one that's really bad at this. I did have to point that out, that clarification.
But you're way funnier than me, so I need you, and this is how we work together. All right.
Yeah, but you're thicker than a bowl of oatmeal, so
yeah, but okay. Let's hit. Let's watch this.
It's not relevant. It's not relevant. No, it's true. So.
Okay, here we go. Oh, go now! Come on, play.
Go now. Go now. Go now.
Carl Benjamin, why you think it is acceptable to say on Twitter that you wouldn't even rape a female Labour MP?
Because I don't think women are any different to men in the way that we should treat them. Unlike the establishment, unlike our judges, who literally say if you...
Can people? That's probably really, really low, isn't it? And
that's quite low.
Yeah.
But I did hear it though, but it's just quite distant. But yeah, I mean, Carl, that's clearly not true that you don't believe that men and women should be treated differently, because you haven't sent anti-rape threats, so to speak, to men. I've jibed you just as much as Kristi ever has, in fact, more so, and for a longer period of time.
Yeah.
You've not once sent that tweet to me. Not once. Which makes me think, if he wouldn't even rape you, does that mean he would even rape me?
Well, that's the question, isn't it? Because that's what he's implying.
Because if he wouldn't treat men and women any differently, and he hasn't sent me that tweet, even though, like you say, we were in similar camps on this one, does that mean Carl wants to rape me?
I guess you have to ask him.
Or is he full of shit? And he knows that what he said was utterly foul and just is too much of a baby to admit it.
Oh, come on, Carl. Of course that's the answer. I am trying to find a better video of that, but I don't know if I can. So I guess I'm just trying to decide what he's saying. Maybe I can kind of translate what he's saying. So I'll go ahead and share what we already have up rather than trying to swap out for another one live.
No, it's low, but you can hear it. Okay. It's not like silent. Okay. It's just distant. Because again, thanks UKIP for absolutely superb audio equipment.
Now my Chrome, I might have had too many things open. It's not letting me share. So I don't know what to do. It's just stuck there. My Chrome is stuck. I'll hit play. You can still hear me, right? Can you see my screen? Yeah. I don't think you probably can't see my screen, but okay. But you can hear it at least. So we'll do that.
Okay.
If my computer will run, I don't know. Now that's paused too. Everything seems to be going completely mad. So it's just telling me the clip is not playing. This is weird. I don't know what to do in this situation.
Well, you're gonna have to like close it and then reopen it or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Hold on. But it's Google Chrome, so we might get kicked off air. If I close the program, then we might shut everything down. So if we do shut down, then let's just take a 5-minute break and I'll set up again and we'll go for part 2. How about that?
Yeah.
All right, guys. So we're going to hit the button, see what happens. If it all just shuts down, then give yourself a 5-minute break. Come back to the channel and we'll continue. Fingers crossed.
Now we're good. I think. I'm still here. Am I? Am I still alive? I don't know what's happening. Well, anyway, I don't know if anyone can hear me, if this is still it says live, so I presume it's still broadcasting. I don't know. Yeah, we're about to see some big-brained activity from Carl. Well, I think we're about to see it. Hopefully, if Kristi gets back at some point with the actual video, we're about to see it. Or if not, just hear some big-brain nonsense from Carl, where he tries to refute his sexism by calling a woman a bitch. So, good times. Yeah. I haven't got the chat. I haven't actually got the thing open with the chat and stuff. So if you've been asking me any questions, I've not been able to answer them. So I mean, I suppose I could get that up now. Have a look. That's what she said. Does that work? Does that joke work when you're on your own? I don't know. There's the live thing. Am I still coming through? I wonder. Let's have a little butchers. Oh, there's now a 6-second advert. Oh, for fuck's sake. Yeah, there we go. I'm still broadcasting, but on my own. Hello, chat. How are we? Vamp Kevin Vamp. Fun times. Hello, Tom. I'm listening to Very Smart Idiots. Is that me? Are you referring to me? I don't know. You're not on your own when there's chat, Kev. That's true. That's true. The quote I'm using for the logo is great. Yes, it is, isn't it? Thank you. Don't skip the ad. Well, I wasn't going to skip the ad, but I couldn't anyway. It was one of those 6-second ones where it says the video will play after this, ad. Hello to everyone saying hello. Hello, Kev. How's Rory? Rory's fine, yeah. Did I tell you yesterday? I was just I had the window open because it was nice and warm, not like hot, but warm enough to have the window open. So I did, and a fly got in, as they are wont to do, the flies. And Chris, oh
wow,
Rory Cat caught a fly. And 1 second, Kristi, I'm in the middle of a very important anecdote here. Rory Cat caught the fly with his fucking paws and ate it. It was like some full-on Mr. Miyagi bullshit.
When was
I was very impressed. That was yesterday.
Wow,
amazing stuff. He's like a fucking ninja.
That is impressive.
Which is rare for Rory Cats because he's usually the kind of cat that would trip over his own non-existent balls. So.
Well, yeah, they have their moments of grace. Definitely.
They do, but Rory Cats is mainly a cat that runs into stuff. And actually, it's quite dangerous in the summer where he'll try and catch flies and he literally doesn't care for anything else around him but the fly. That's the only thing he's focusing on. So he'll jump for the fly not have any cognizance of the fact that he's about to crash into like a stack of papers or a shelf or something. And so, yeah. You just see a crash, bang, wallop, and you think, oh fucking hell, he's trying to catch a fly and smashed everything up. And then looks up at me like, what? Clean this shit up now. I'm going for a sleep.
Well, he does run the house.
He does. Well, all I have to do is pay all of the bills, clean everything, and feed him, and let him fuss me and wake me up in the middle of the night. And for that, he lets me live in his house. So, good stuff.
That sounds like a fair deal.
Yeah, absolutely. So anyway, is anything working?
Well, the computer's working again, but because Chrome shut down, I lost all my preset tabs. So that's kind of sad. So I can pull them up. They're going to be a little bit of time. I think it is important. We should watch, even though the sound on it was quite low, I think it's important to watch Carl having his little hissy fit. And yelling at the reporter because it is the basis of the Jess Phillips story. So let me find that again.
You've got the one where she wants to sue him, but have you got the initial tweet, the lovely tweet?
Oh, we can send that out, or I can just look it up. To be honest, because I've got.
Well, I'll look it up. I'll fucking look it
up. Okay. Yeah, you can talk about that first one that she sent out. Oh, you know what? I've already got it up. To be honest, it's the first thing that popped up on the results, so I can go ahead and show my screen.
Oh, okay. Well, I've just gone onto Twitter, and the first thing that popped up was you having tweeted out the UKIP candidates are thug who taught dog Nazis to and sicko who joked about rape. So that's cool.
Nice. Yeah, so I'm going to add another tab and work on my other screen while you describe what's on this one.
Yeah. It's this Jess Phillips. This is the woman to whom Carl sent the appalling tweet that we saw earlier. It just says, and this is so after this whole shit show kicked off yesterday. Jess just tweeted this out, which is delicious. Carl Benjamin will forever have whatever career he has defined by me. He will hear my name wherever he goes. His whole political life defined by little feminist Jess. That, my friends, is comedy, and that's kind of beautiful. That I'll be honest, that brought a tear to my eye, and a laughter to my belly, and a slight twitch to my balls. Glorious.
It was lovely to see. No, it's so nice. These feelings of Schadenfreude that we've got going.
Well, that is literally rubbing it in. You are going to hear my name everywhere you go.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely stuff.
Yeah, and it's true, and I'm glad. I mean, I have worked very hard in the last 3 years to make sure that is the scarlet tweet that hangs around his neck. So, it feels good to me.
Yeah.
All right, so we're back up. We'll see if we can make it work this time. I don't know if the sound is any better, but I'm not going to muck about with it because I don't want another big crash.
It's technically muted at the moment.
Oh, yeah, thanks for noticing. Appreciate that. That'll make it easier. And how about we start at the beginning? All right.
Yeah.
Try again. Why aren't you going? Stupid thing. Oh, this is the same thing that happened last time. You know, they might not be, I don't know, maybe they're not letting us broadcast it, but whatever. Carl shouts at the reporter.
Well, put the URL into the side chat and I'll see if I can play it. Because maybe it's a German copyright thing or something. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. All right, let me see if I can track it down again.
I know, like when I do a video about, like when I did videos about Holocaust deniers and stuff, even Holocaust denial debunking videos weren't allowed to be shown in Germany.
Oh,
quite something.
Right. Okay. So I will. Oh God, this is annoying. I wonder if the BBC would. No, they don't have him swearing, do they? They wouldn't have him swearing on it.
Just send me the URL of the site clip.
I know, but it's crashed out, so I can't. Yeah, I know. I just had it. I don't have it anymore.
Damn bombs.
I'll go to videos. That will narrow the search. I thought I was already there. Oh, I wasn't already there. Yeah, I don't know where this damn Sky News tweet thing went. But anyway,
I will find it. Apologies to people. No, we're going to watch the motherfucker because it's worth watching. Right. So talk amongst yourselves while I try and do something.
Tell you what. Why don't we see what the BBC's got for coverage?
A joke or a remark made by somebody 3 years ago on Twitter. Now, if you held everybody to account for every remark they'd ever made in their life,
Carl was first.
I don't condone a joke or a remark made for every remark they'd ever made in their life, which was stupid.
That's not it either.
Yeah, mine's playing.
Okay.
Play this guy play.
All right. So I'll take off my screen.
So I don't know what the I'll turn my volume right up to 100.
Just do the volume.
So you'll probably be
at this point.
Yeah. So hang on a second. Well, let's hang on. Let me play that.
Let me finish my question. Mr. Batten suggested it.
Does that come through?
Yep, it does.
Okay, so I'll screen share. Where are we? There we go. Share. Bosh. Oh, don't fucking play without me. What are you doing? Fuck off. See, I'm so technically gifted. Right.
I'm just realizing I think she quote tweets it in her response to it, but anyway. Go ahead.
I was playing a second ago. What?
See? Is it say media not available for you too?
Mr. Batten suggested earlier that if I would like to hold his candidate to account, I should turn up at your press conference and ask the question. So I would like to ask Carl Benjamin why you think it is acceptable to say on Twitter that you wouldn't even rate a female Labour MP.
Can you translate what he's saying?
He says, I don't think it's okay to treat anyone different from men or women, unlike the establishment, which isn't true because, again, you haven't, as we discussed before, Kristi F5'd or whatever. Yeah, you've not sent that tweet to any men, only to women.
Nope.
And look at that. That's the face of a man joking. Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And Christiosity, by the way, made this point on Twitter too. Christiosity gets credit for the whole, he only uses this rape thing on women point.
Yeah.
Oh, you have to.
That's the way.
You have to translate what he's saying.
If a woman is being a giant bitch, is what he said. Well, it was bleeped out. Which is, I mean, I don't. That's so big-brained that the galaxy brain meme doesn't do it any justice. The idea that you would defend yourself against accusations of misogyny by calling a woman a bitch. The galaxy brain doesn't do it. We're going to need like some sort of multiverse brain meme to really do that justice. I think that's quite something, Carl. Well done, you fucking cretin. Anyway, if she laughs at male suicide, I'm going to be a C-bomb to her. Yeah. So we'll get onto that in a second, but that's a lie.
Yeah.
Any questions? She says, "Is it acceptable?" He says, "Yes." 1%. Deal with it.
Yeah, that's his.
That's his response. Garbage. But yes. So to that, Jess Phillips replies with this.
Yep. Oh, I've just watched the clip of Mr. Benjamin telling lies on a stage about me, so I think he'll be hearing from the lawyers. Deary me.
Yes, and I think that's fair enough because I've explained this to Carl in on stream that what he said there was a lie. She did not laugh about male suicide, and this is where it gets slightly boring, but stick with me because it's sort of the point. She sat on and still sits on the Parliamentary Select Committee for Women and Equalities, which means that she gets to question people before that committee about women and equalities type issues, and they report, they give reports back to Parliament and so on. Right? That's what they do. They're very important bodies within the parliamentary structure. Anyway, so she was interviewing a guy called Philip Davis MP, who you may remember is the MRA MP, the guy who helped try and vote down the upskirting bill, amongst other things, although Christopher Chope was the main dude for that, but whatever. He's an MRA douchebag guy. He appeared at the International Conference for Men's Issues alongside Karen Strawn and all those other pieces of shit. Yeah, and he wanted to have the International Men's Day debate held in the main chamber of the House of Commons, which is the one that, if you've ever seen the British Parliament on the news, that's the place with the Prime Minister and the opposition leader going back and forth and here and shouting at each other and all that bollocks. But that's one room. Obviously, it's the Chamber of the Commons where they have to pass bills and all of that sort of stuff. And so the amount of time available for non-urgency debates in that chamber is very, very small, because they have ministerial questions at the start of each day. They often have ministerial statements. They have Prime Minister's questions on a Wednesday. They have to pass all government legislation. They have to pass all private members' bills. They have to have emergency debates and emergency questions. And especially around Brexit time, although this was pre-Brexit, the amount of time in that chamber is so slim for any non-urgent debate, right? So the point that she was making was, you can have that debate, but you're going to have it in Westminster Hall, where the vast majority of debates take place, which is still part of Parliament. It's still part of the parliamentary complex, but it's a series of smaller cabinet rooms that exist sort of off to the side of Parliament. It's still part of the parliamentary estate. It's still part of the Westminster buildings, but it's 50 yards away, basically. But Philip Davis made the rather absurd point that men's issues like suicide and this, that, and the other, and he listed off the usual list of MRA shite, weren't getting talked about in the main chamber of the Commons. And she laughed at that. She laughed at the concept that those issues don't get talked about in Parliament, Now, for receipts of that, if you wish, in the episode of the Descent of Manosphere, I think it was episode 29, if I recall, the ICMI 2018, which was held in London, Philip Davis made that same point when he spoke at that event, and I, in response to that, went to Hansard, which is the organisation which essentially puts the minutes for everything that gets said in Parliament down, right? So it's a record of the things that get said in Parliament. So I went onto their record, which is now all online, although obviously it wasn't always, but it is now. And you can search back through time immemorial, basically for the last 300 years of Parliament, and see what was said. So I just typed in things like male suicide rates and circumcision and military deaths and selective service and all of that sort of stuff, and just made the time frame the last 10 years and came up with an absolute slew of examples of those issues being talked about in the Commons. So they are being talked about. Philip Davis was full of shit. She was absolutely right to laugh at the absurd notion that those issues don't get talked about. And most importantly and pertinently to this, she was not laughing at male suicide. She was laughing at the concept that men's issues don't get discussed in Parliament, because it is a laughable notion. I'm done.
Okay. No, that was really good and important, and that's something I also need to mirror. But of course, I've already put up a lot of videos on that Carl with the K Benjamin account, so it will eventually, all this stuff will be curated.
Yeah, that's an open and shut case.
Yeah.
There's no ifs or buts about that. That is defamation. She did not laugh at male suicide. You're a liar, Carl Benjamin.
And when you say these things on YouTube, it's kind of one thing, but when you stand up on a national stage and say it, and it gets broadcast all over public national television, that's a little different.
Yeah.
Especially under British libel laws. So, by the way, I found the last story that we were going to share, so I've got that up at least.
You can tell to a degree how much they don't actually think that they're winning, because Carl instantly scurried back to his safe space when he did a live stream last night and was like, I can still come back here and it's fine. Oh, it's fine. You know, I was definitely winning. Definitely. 100%.
We should listen to some of that. Now that we had a break.
I'm definitely not owned. I'm not owned. No, I can't be bothered. I want to do the Andy Warski thing.
Oh, okay. All right. So last thing, I guess, on this is, this headline used to be about Swindon UKIP wanting to deselect it, but they changed the headline. So yeah, now this is going to come up when he searches his name on Google.
Yeah. So if he was unemployable before, I mean, wow.
Yeah. And it basically,
that's why I say he's playing a dangerous game, because his only chance of income now is YouTube.
Oh yeah. Once he kind of grows beyond his audience in terms of age, and he doesn't make as much money, because teenagers don't want to listen to guys with gray beards. They found some new, younger shitlord to listen to. Yeah. Yeah. He's had 5 years already. He might have another 5 years.
If he creates too much of a fuss here with the media, and YouTube get a whiff of it and just shut him down because he's not worth the bad publicity, he's got no way of earning a living now. Because no employer's going to touch him with a fucking barge pole. No one's going to go near him.
Oh, it's going to be amazing. And he's earned it. He's earned all of this. He could have apologized long ago for this, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah, he could and should have. He could have just gone, actually, yeah, that was a dumb thing to do. Oh, sorry. And that would have been it. But no, he's
stubborn. He's so stubborn.
He's stubborn is not actually the end of the world. It's obdurate. It's completely inflexible. It's childish beyond belief. Stubbornness is actually a quality that can be useful. This goes way beyond that. This is ridiculous.
Data Port Doll in the chat. Yeah, Data Port Doll says Carl definitely overprepared for his press conference.
Yeah, he should have done what he did with us and just come in and gone, look, I haven't prepared for this. I don't know what I'm doing. You think I've actually researched anything? Don't be silly. No.
All right, so on the Warski thing, how do you want to cover it? Because I ended up watching Medicare because he had the abbreviated version, but I don't know if I want to put that on the show. So I'm not
putting that scumbag on the show.
You want to just chat about it? Or do you want to show clips from it?
No, let's just find the original video and we'll watch Because we can skip forward. I know what if you skip forward through it, we know what to look for.
Do you know what to look for in terms of like titles besides Warski?
No, what? No, you're the one that said you wanted to do this. I assumed you had the video.
Well, I kind of thought the Carl thing would go like almost 2 hours, which has, and that we wouldn't get to the Warski.
Which it has.
Yeah. So I hadn't actually prepared anything for Warski because I'd spent so much time preparing for Carl. So I when you brought it up, you wanted to do it. I was like,
I'll try and look up what to.
I'm sure if I look up just Warski live stream.
Oh, okay. I've just found out Carl's just released a video an hour ago called "Anti-hashtag Gamergate SJWs are 200% mad." Should
we watch that?
No, I don't know. Oh, it's no. I just want to do the Warski thing because that's release.
Well, I've got a random channel here that's got like 17 minutes, so maybe I don't know what's in it, but I can recognize some of the scenes. So
yeah, let's just if it's like a highlights thing, that's fine.
It really is about about 17 minutes of highlights would probably be about enough. Okay, so hold on, let me share. Go. And yeah, that's everything, right? Oh, and lock.
Okay, well, we're starting quite far in, so we should explain the backstory then. They bumped into these guys whilst talking to a guy, a weird busking guy wearing a QAnon shirt.
Who apparently, he said, I watched it in one of the other parts of the live stream where he says people were giving him out, but he also had some weird views. So I think he was like, the QAnon people were there when Trump was in town.
Yeah. They were being really racist towards black people, I think. And they were going, oh, the white genocide. Right, which, and Andy Warski, by the way, is the absolute quintessential example of an idiot being radicalized by the far right. Anyway. Because he used to just be a random anti-SJW, and now he's like, Nazi man! Anyway. So the guy you can see holding the gun here is a man by the name of Alex. And we're about to see Alex get... he's not going to have a fun night. Let's just put it that way. But he was carrying this, what we presume is a loaded weapon. But before the night, the people he's aiming that gun at, he confronted, he and Failure, who used to be Tonkasaur's little bitch, and Andy about their racism earlier in the night. And Alex had tased one of the guys with the least effective taser in the history of the world.
It didn't do anything, apparently.
Andy had threatened on film, because this is Andy streaming. This is entirely, all this footage is Andy's in real life live stream. Andy threatened to murder them. Literally, he said, I'll kill you. I'll kill you. We've got a gun with bullets. Literally, actually on the stream, which any lawyer will tell you, don't film yourself doing the crime. Please don't, because there's no way of defending you then. There's no way of like muddying the waters when you're literally on film saying, I'm going to kill you.
No.
Anyway, and saying, oh, you're lucky I didn't knock you out as he walks away, which was funny. Anyway, so then, that was during like vaguely daylight hours. They stroll around for a bit, they get some food, and then the guys reappear. And to say that Andy and his crew aren't necessarily the most alpha of individuals when they pretend to be, it's pretty funny. It's pretty funny.
So Failure shouts, stand your ground, like...
Yep. Failure is, you can't see the mouse, but he's if we point out roughly where Failure is at this point.
I think he's over here.
The big guy that's sort of stood on the bird. There he is, yeah. There, that figure is Failure, who's the... Tell him, Failure. He used to hang around with Tonkasaur before growing a tiny bit of spine. Although he now appears to have, like a prison bitch, basically, gone from Tonka to Andy, it would appear. And Andy now owns him until the end of his sentence. So yeah, that's the basic setup. And listen to how Andy screeches when he pretends to be this alpha dog. It's so ridiculous.
Right. So Failure yells, stand your ground. The guys are walking up, and Andy's going to start yelling, stand back. And he's like, get your gun out, Alex. And it's just completely ridiculous. So here we go.
Yeah.
Stay back! Oh, yeah, of course.
Oh, this is...
You said don't ever step up.
Oh, okay. This is not it, obviously. It is and it isn't.
Oh, no.
Some clips. Okay, all right. Here's the beginning of the fight. I've actually seen enough.
Oh, okay.
You gotta around saying fuck the white boys.
I just explained. I didn't need to explain. Okay.
Yeah, so now then they know what they're going to see. So he's complained about the things coming out of their speakers because they were playing a song about how Andy Worski hates N-words on their external speakers. And this guy's not happy about
it. And one of the funniest elements of this is they've got like during the live stream, if you want to like donate, like when you do super chats on YouTube, but on I think this is on Twitch or something, and you can have like a text to speech thing where it will literally be played out loud, and some of them are amazing.
Yeah, by the way,
they're almost always racist. Amazing.
Yeah, definitely. Like there, another content warning this time for obvious. Well, I don't know if there's how much racial stuff actually gets said, but there's a lot of attempts to be offensive. So, yeah. It's an Andy Worski stream. So here we go.
Heard it before.
Hey, don't matter, though, man. Come on. This guy's property. What the fuck are you? Don't touch the fucking phone, bro. Yo, keep walking, bro.
Look at how butthurt he gets about the phone. Like that's physical assault. Well, technically, but I mean,
yeah.
Considering what we see later on down the line, it's so ridiculous that they string it out because he slapped a phone.
That's basically it. Like, you slapped my phone, I'm going to send you to jail. That's kind of their mentality. Yeah. It's such a sort of like.
And, and they're drunk.
Oh yeah.
That should be pointed out. They are drunk. So. Which understandably the police don't react well to.
Yeah. All right. So hitting play.
Drunk man with gun. Okay. Cool.
The fuck are you? What's wrong with you, man? So you're gonna hit someone? You're gonna fucking hit someone? Get the fuck out of here! You the shit.
He's yelling free speech at him. I think that's the guy trying to wind him up, which is pretty funny. Okay.
You know, Nazis march on Washington.
Don't touch him. You touch
America. Go, walk, bro. America. Get the fuck out of here. It's called America. Get the fuck out of here.
Keep walking. You're acting on the big bodyguard. So what happens to him later? I'm not that bothered. Look, it's still not ideal, but I'm not going to lose any sleep for him.
Sorry, which one? Who are you talking about there?
Failure, the big chap on the right.
Yeah, well, he doesn't get arrested.
Yeah, he's acting like a big bad man. Like, I'm in the middle. I'm going to stop you from doing it. Yeah, fuck you, man. So what happens later? Yeah.
Stand your ground. Stand your ground.
We see the real man later.
Yeah. Okay.
Fucking piece of shit. Fucking knock you out, bro. Don't you ever step up to a man.
Walks away.
Okay, so yeah, that was the confrontation earlier with the same guys, and now they're running into him again, and the guys are approaching them. That's my understanding.
This is a really shit because they've
cut it up.
Sequence.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you've missed the bit where Failure gets sort of punched in the head and runs away screaming, "Shoot, shoot!"
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Again, don't film yourself trying to sort of pull a reverse. Look at what's his name? Guy who killed Trayvon Martin.
Oh, George Zimmerman.
They're trying to pull a George Zimmerman basically, and say, "Oh well, that was self-defense." Not really.
Yeah.
Not really, guys.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go.
Back. Stay back. Yo, fucking get out of here.
Stay back.
Okay, now we're back on the street.
Oh god, this is like a trippy thing. They keep going back and forward. This is rubbish.
Yeah, but we're in the middle of it now, so let's just keep going and we'll just work with the timelines. We're already going. Let's just finish.
Yeah, just finish. I'll piss you out and then fucking go to sleep. Jesus.
Wow. That's oof. Okay.
I've had some rough nights. All I'm saying, I've had some very insensitive lovers.
Okay, I'm gonna hit play, so then I don't have to talk.
China. Yeah. You want to fucking go? Get the fuck. Walk right now. Walk right now.
Yeah.
See again, Andy acting all brave when there are 3 people between him in it. But then once he's sort of like, oh shit, he's like, stay back, I'm scared.
Yeah, like you're walking toward me, get out your gun and point it at them. I'm so brave.
Yeah, he's so alpha, man. Absolutely.
You want me to call the cops?
Yeah? You hit my fucking property.
You fucking assaulted me. No, you fucking assaulted me.
Yes. They just sound like internet trolls. Like, oh, did you just assume my gender?
Yeah.
Like, you just assaulted
yourself.
Yeah. They're so mature. So.
Assaulted him.
Keep walking. You fucking assaulted me.
Walk, you piece of shit.
No, fucking
walk.
Oh, by the way, I don't think the other guy got arrested. I mean, from what I've heard, I don't know if anyone else has heard anything up, but I don't know that the cops watched this video, and the charges.
It's very helpful when a crime is committed and it's all on camera.
Yeah,
that
right.
helps.
Yeah,
in terms of investigation, it's not a lot of sleuthing needs to go on.
You just wear a body cam on you all the time,
Yeah.
or the equivalent. Okay.
Free speech is walk, motherfucker. Keep watching CNN, pal. Fucking cunt. Fucking knock you out, bro. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I'll knock you out. It's so hard.
With his
It's
fists,
so hard, Andy Walker,
he's trained in MMA, so you'd think he could physically.
He's had 0 fights. He's had 0 fights. I mean, technically, he did turn up for one, but he still had 0 fights.
All right, here we go.
And we'll have you on the show. Thank you, brother. Piece of shit.
That was a QAnon guy, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, then Andy walks around mad for a while because he's all like hyped up but drunk. So let's see how much of that we get.
Oh yeah, he's gonna walk now. He's gonna walk here.
Social justice warrior.
That's the equivalent of that guy that says, go. Walk, buddy.
Yeah, but you're walking after them.
Yeah, exactly.
You're following them, saying walk away. It's ridiculous. And that becomes like a running theme throughout.
Yeah, there's a significant distance between them. So why are they approaching them to tell them to move away when they could actually move away and solve the problem?
Or just stand still and they'll get further and further away.
Yeah.
That helps.
Yeah. Stop interacting with them. Engaging, but that's not what happens.
You want to knock me out? I call the cops on you, motherfucker. Get out of here.
You assaulted me, though.
I know, but you know what? Remember, you're a white male. This looks like the Owen Schroyer sketch. Yeah, I know. Yeah, you're a fucking white male.
Oh, you hear that? That's the taser going off. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
I think the reason why it didn't work very well is because Alex kept turning it on and off, or setting it off without any reason. And by the time he actually had to use it, I wonder if it wasn't out of charge. But so that's a taser you've just heard, by the way.
Yeah, go. Piece of shit. That's one thing we got, motherfucker.
So he's walking around with a taser and an unloaded gun. This Alex guy, just on
Is it unloaded? Do we know that for sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
He says that to the cops later on.
True, but I mean, in terms of the crime of.
Oh, it doesn't matter that it doesn't matter that it. No, it doesn't matter at all for the crime. I'm just saying, he's walking around with a taser and an unloaded gun. So even if he got in a standoff, all he could do was tase the guy.
Yeah, and it's worth pointing out, they've got stand your ground stuff in Florida, as we know from the George Zimmerman case. Pulling out an unloaded gun, the people have to assume it's loaded.
Oh yes, you should. Right? Always treat a gun like it's.
So if they had a gun and opened up on you and shot you all dead, that would be perfectly legal, because you obviously pose a significant imminent threat to their lives, because you've got a gun that they have to assume is loaded. So you're done. Yeah. I mean, they can kill you and get away with it.
Because you're stupid.
Because you're fucking stupid, yes.
You walk around with an unloaded gun and pull it on somebody.
I mean, that's bringing a spoon to a knife fight.
Basically.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. All right, well, we'll get there, though, with the whole arrest.
I'm gonna fucking fight the guy. I'm gonna fuck.
Should the days of the security guard, he just nodded to me. He's like, yeah, go ahead. I just didn't the fucking dude come for the fucking phone.
No, I didn't see it either.
So this is the music. Like, they can send songs by donating
400 experience points.
So much music, which later on, hopefully, they'll have.
Compilation package has the one song that gets played later that is
has to be
fucking beautiful.
It has to be. If it doesn't have it, what's the point of this compilation video? You guys
Basically,
will
yeah.
hear it. You guys will hear it. All right. So yeah, Andy's walking around all tough guy now. We'll probably have some weird clips thrown in here with him randomly at his own fight. I guess the fight thing is supposed to be a contrast to how big he talked when he was supposed to fight Tonka. But it's just
don't step up to a man, because if you do, I'll scream like a girl and ask my friend to point a gun at you.
Yeah, but you see, if I were going to do this, I would do like a picture-in-picture. Like I would run it simultaneously with the live feed, so it wouldn't interrupt the flow of. But whatever. Okay.
Yeah, and cutting back and forward in time is just confusing and annoying. The person who put this together is a dick.
They're doing it. Yeah, this starting it. It's very confusing for the viewers. They don't know what. Yes. All right. So that was our feedback. That was our editing feedback for your next project. Whoever channels.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck you is my editing feedback.
All right, you're hitting play.
Sorry, fuck my.
See, this is what we're talking about. This kind of crap.
Let's be a little bit emotional for a second, all right?
What that was,
guys? The dream team. We've had some great times, good times, right? Yep. Kelly, what's the moment that you remember the most?
No, let's skip ahead.
Never step up to a man. Thanks for watching Purple Dragon. Fun night. Epic ending.
So he's winding it up like this is where it's going to all end, all crazy little interaction, whatever, on the street, little confrontation. But you can see there's a lot of video left. Sorry, what was that, Kevin?
No, I was just carry on, continue.
Okay, here we go.
Garage before we leave. Yeah, we're gonna fucking eat the fuck.
We really didn't think anything was gonna happen tonight. We had shitty connection starting out.
We thought we were gonna have to go home without anything. Ended up being a great night. Yeah, a lot of funny moments. Talked to a lot of cool people.
Yeah.
It's like 1 in the morning and we're starving. That's what happens. They want us to still go though. I'm glad we're not hurt either.
So go where do we
Have you ever seen a compilation of more white trash people there?
Well, I did watch, I flipped through Jerry Springer a couple times when I lived back in the States. So, I mean, there's only 3 guys there. But
well, no, I meant more sort of density per person of white trashiness.
On that metric, maybe not. Yeah, on that metric, you're right. That leaps up immediately in the rankings.
Although I will say they do all appear to have a full set of teeth. Not necessarily their own teeth, but they've had dental work done to replace lost ones. So that's something.
There you go. All right, so we get Andy and his purple hair as we go on here.
Is that him?
Oh, they see the guys.
That's him. That's him.
The music that they've put on the background, the kind of tense music, that wasn't in the live stream. This is the fucking idiot who put this video together has put that on. And it's unnecessary because it was fucking brilliant anyway.
Yeah.
We don't have anyone around here. Oh, okay.
They're coming towards us.
So let's walk away.
Look, they're coming towards us.
All right, yo.
They're coming towards us. They're coming towards us. Do you know the South Park? I know it was brought up on the I actually thought about the same thing. I'm talking about the Metacritic stream. He brought it up. I actually had the same thing because I watched South Park from the beginning. They're coming right for us. The Hunter uncle and his friend.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like, they're coming this way. They're coming this way. They're coming right for us. All right.
Oh, I stand your ground. Here he is. Stay back! Stay back!
That works really well.
So I think he said, like, Alex, grab the something, give him the stuff or whatever. But it's basically, you can see Alex is going to be reaching for his gun right now.
True, but Alex, to be fair to him, just say, let's just go, let's just walk, let's just go.
Yeah.
But he wants to get out of that situation, which is the wise thing to do. Because
he's got the gun. He's the one who could go to jail.
Yeah. He knows he's going to fucking jail if they get into a confrontation here. Yeah.
Yep. Because they're going to be looking at him. He's like, click, click. But all right. So we'll watch this play out. Yeah.
Stay back. Stay back. Go aim. Stay back, guys.
So,
he's provoking.
You're filming
him.
yourself potentially committing crimes there. Aim. Like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Yep.
Idiots.
Go, Alex. We're Stay back.
He runs away screaming, "Shoot!"
Walks up
what
to
happened
him.
to the hard? What happened to the hard man who was like standing in the way? What happened there? What happened to the bodyguard chap? What happened to him? Oh, he ran away screaming, "Shoot! Shoot!"
He approaches them. They knock off his hat and knock his food out of his hands, and he runs away, yelling, "Shoot! Shoot!" That your life's not in danger there, mate. Your dinner might be, but not your life.
Dinner is life, so.
Well, that's a good point. All right, here we go.
Stay back.
I've got a fucking gun, motherfucker.
He just said, "I've got a fucking gun, motherfucker," and kind of like just shows it to him. Like, yeah, smart, really smart.
Stay back. Stay
back. Big brainedness that we can't comprehend, Kristi. You and I don't get the big brain nature of this, clearly.
No, we're not that as smart as these guys.
Stay back! Stay the fuck back! Stay back! Stay the
voice. That is the voice of an alpha. That sounds like a bear in the wild.
Yeah, he's really crafty.
Dominating territory. Can you, Kristi? Well, you're probably pregnant just from the pheromones of how alpha he is. There, I imagine.
That's a very Prince-like falsetto he's got going on there. It's maybe the high pitch
kind of like he hasn't got any balls. Kind of literally like he hasn't got any testicles there. That's fun.
I'm just saying, like, when military officers come up to you or police, whatever, they don't go stay. You're like put your hands on your head. You know, like they kind of bark. You know, they don't yell.
Yeah.
And Andy's not barking here.
Put your hands up. Put your hands up in the air.
Your hands on the ground.
I don't say that.
Oh, get your hands down on the ground. No. All right, there's more of that, by the way. You haven't heard the last of the falsetto of Andy Worski here. So yeah, there you go. That's aggravated assault, right there. You don't have to touch anyone.
That is ironically a criminal waste of food. It's just on the floor there.
I hope it wasn't Mexican. I love Mexican food. Oh, I really want a taco right now.
Oh, another Mexican wasted on the ground.
Although if they're in Florida, maybe there's like Cuban places. Maybe they went to anyway. So there you go. Aggravated assault.
R.I.P. tacos. Oh.
Yes. Goodbye. All right.
Can we have a minute silence for this? I think it would be appropriate at this juncture.
Let's just all mourn. Okay. Moments over.
It's okay if we stay together. We can get past this emotional trauma.
Shall I hit play?
Stay back! Stay back! Get the fuck back! Get the fuck back! Get back! Get back! Get the fuck!
Yeah, we should explain that the text to speech when it says "we hate knickers."
Yeah.
Because the text to speech voice is a bit weird. It essentially comes out as "we hate N-words."
Yeah, that's the closest they can.
They're trying to antagonize this group. Which is, I mean, he's funny. Also shows what garbage Andy has for fans because they're literally trying to like endanger him here.
Yeah, they're like basically like, "Oh, fire! Let me get some gasoline. Where can I throw the gasoline on this fire?"
Why anyone would do IRL streaming, given this is what happens, is just so stupid. There are easier ways to earn a living, man. Fuck.
All right, here we go.
Back! He was assaulted! Get the fuck back! Get the fuck back! Aim!
Calling the cops now!
So Andy's going aim. The thing is going, "We hate knickers. We hate knickers. We hate knickers." Yeah. It's just insane.
Imagine that, but look how successfully they've stood their ground. They're about 50 yards further back than they started.
Yeah. And if you see failure, he's like waving his arms in the median. I don't know what he's doing over there.
He's just in the middle distance, just doing a bit of performance art.
He's probably going, shoot. I don't know, but all right.
Stay the fuck back! Stay back! We will defend ourselves! We will defend ourselves! We will defend ourselves! Stay the fuck back!
They're probably just thinking, this guy's fucking mental. I don't think, but yeah, let's just walk away. He's probably going to eat us.
Kevin, you know how on drunk histories, they have people who enact the drunk stories. Would you be willing, do you know what I mean? Would you be willing to physically enact what we would have seen from the street level of Andy doing? You call it drunk Worski, and you have to memorize all of his screams.
This is drunk Worski. We're seeing drunk Worski.
Oh my gosh. Seriously, if anyone could do the drunk history version on the audio for this and then record it with like just him purple hair and probably bending over, doubling over when he's screaming, "We will defend ourselves. We will defend ourselves."
And the thing to bear in mind is after saying stay back, stand your ground, his next move is peculiar. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, watch what he does now. Watch where the camera goes. If he's just keep an eye on the telephone poles. Use them as like a marker or streetlights or whatever they are in terms of distance between the actors here.
Stay the fuck back! Stay the fuck back! We will defend ourselves! We will defend ourselves! You hear us? We will defend ourselves! We will defend ourselves! Go to fucking jail! We will defend ourselves! Go on camera!
Yeah, he just starts approaching them.
Idiot. Fucking idiot.
I put it down to white privilege. He's like, "You're gonna go to jail." Like, no, buddy, you have to realize your own culpability. Just because something happened on the street an hour and a half ago doesn't mean like you can pull a gun on him now.
Yeah, and not just that, but you're getting deported. So I mean, like, from America, mate. Like,
yeah, go back to Canada.
This is not the quiet streets of like rural fucking Canada or some shit. This is, I think, Miami or somewhere.
Clearwater, Florida. Yeah.
It's Florida. I mean, that's the. Is there something in the air in Florida? Because Worski's turned into Florida, man.
Yes.
Just by being in Florida. Like, it's a toxic fucking air in Florida that turns you into
Florida men.
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
he's not even American, but he's such a Florida man.
He is. Well, yeah, white trash, like I said. No, apologies to the people of Florida. I'm sure there are
nice
some
people.
of you with the correct numbers of fingers and toes, I'm sure.
All right. After that little dissolving into complete fits of laughter, I think we're ready to go on now. Okay. What?
It's so tragic, that food. It's just, ugh.
That's what you can't get over? The lost burritos?
Lost burritos. Come on now. Little Spanish joke for you there.
Oh, get it? It took me a while because I didn't take Spanish.
Well, neither did I, but I don't even know what it means. But I know it's a Spanish thing.
Anyway, okay, Los Burritos. The loss of Los Burritos. Sad. All right. Who's this guy striding up now? Look at this attitude on this guy.
I think he's one of the dudes, and he's just, I mean, that's the thing. None of the 7 people, I think it's 6, 7, whatever, people in this scenario, they're all dickheads.
Oh,
all of them.
This is popcorn
Even the
time.
ones that were like, "Don't be racist, dude," he's also a bit of a prick because, he's screaming about fucking slapping people's phones out and just being a drunken idiot.
I mean, he was on the right side in terms of being offended by what Worski said, but this is all just embarrassing at this point.
Yeah, but this really is. This is like, I mean, you can do this when you're 17, guys, but I mean, you're essentially sort of, well, borderline middle age or whatever. Just have a bit of decorum. You're literally in the road, pretending, doing the kind of, "Oh, come at me, bro, and not actually doing anything. Like, it's so embarrassing. You tried to tase him and failed. I mean, oh, God. How embarrassing.
All right, here we go.
Imagine these people's parents watching this, just thinking, "I've raised a cock. Really, I've raised a fucking idiot.
Where did I go wrong? What did I waste the last 20 years on?"
I told you, Jeffrey, we should have had an abortion. I told you at the time, but no, you said it was against God. Is this what God wanted, really?
All right, I'm going to hit play now.
Stay back! Stay back! Pull it up, pull it up, pull it up.
You were walking after them. Sorry, we're going to have to get through this at some point. But you were literally walking after them 10 seconds ago, and now you're saying stay back. You were walking after them. You fucking prick. Anyway, sorry, go on. No, don't skip back. For Christ's sake.
want to hear Worski saying pull it up again. Because that is, that's what she said. Yeah. All right, here we go.
We're going to defend ourselves. You're on camera. You're on camera. Stay back. Stay back. Pull it up. Pull it up. Pull it up. Pull it up. Stay the fuck.
Pull it out. Pull it out. Spray it on my chest. Spray it on my face. Oh. Someone definitely needs to sync that up with some, let's say, other adult footage.
Yes. Some things with X's in it, perhaps. And that would be an interesting part of the drunk history reenactment of the Worski confrontation that you're planning on doing here now, Kevin.
Yeah, and Andy Jizworska. Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Back! You get shot! Stay back! You get shot! You get shot! You get shot! Stand the fuck back!
And he's walking
back as he walks forward.
Yep.
It's amazing. Anyway.
Walk away from me and then I'm going to behind you.
He doesn't just follow them a few paces, let's just put it that way.
Oh, no. We haven't even gotten to the arrest yet, you guys.
No.
All right, here we go.
Andy, do not approach. Buddy.
Now, Alex is actually smart. He's like, do not approach them. Maybe he knows the law a little bit better, but yeah, you can't like walk up to people and go, I'm standing my ground. Like, no, you're not. You're walking. You're not standing.
You know, standing involves the word standing.
Yes. It's not walking.
It's not walking your ground. It's not following people your ground. It's stand. You have to be sort of at least relatively stationary for that to work.
Like, I don't know the ins and outs of the law, but I'm pretty sure that it doesn't involve advancing on people, and walking after them.
Yeah, walking after them, screaming at them whilst pointing a gun at them does not count as standing your fucking ground.
No.
That's the thing with the ground element of that. It's the ground that's sort of roughly around you, not ground 50 feet further ahead.
Right up the road.
It's not standing all of the ground. It's standing your ground. Otherwise, you could literally shoot anyone on Earth because it's all ground. Anyway.
All right, here we go.
Get away from aim. Buddy, you're getting shot. You're going to get shot. You're going to get shot.
Why would you film yourself saying you're going to get shot?
Because you're Andy Worski, I guess. That's why you did it. But yeah.
I'm such a fucking idiot. He's a doofus. He really is.
Yes. Yeah. And now they're all like on the phones, all of them, while they're also fighting. I think Failure's got his hand to it. Looks like he's making a phone call to the police now. So we'll see. But yeah, so the cops are going to come eventually.
Oh, he's holding his jaw on after that vicious attack where his hat got knocked off.
Oh, yes, his hat knocking off. That's right.
I mean, I only hope he survives. Yeah. I think he's in a critical condition in hospital at the moment.
Okay, here we go.
You gotta get shot!
Now, walk away!
You're gonna get fucking...
Walking out of your way! Walk away!
Hold this.
Do not approach them. They're walking away now. Get away! Hey!
He's still filming this. Why is he still filming?
He's an idiot.
Oh, God. Turn it off, you fucking... And they're just in the middle of the road with traffic coming at them. What? You people... I mean, again, I can't help but feel we're too generous with these people because natural selection would have taken care of them by now.
Yeah.
I think protected these people and kept them alive, and I'm not sure that was a wise move on society's part.
Follow them.
To get through this, we have to just
go to jail.
They're following them again. Right?
They're on camera.
And you're right. Okay, they're about 100? Well, yeah, about 100 feet further ahead from where they were. Why are you screaming, State? You're following them, you fucking idiot.
I'm following you. Stay back.
We hate you, kids.
Stop, guys. Stop. Not the fucking time. Stop.
He's being trolled by his own viewers. They're walking after them again.
Stay back.
Stay back.
Stay back! Stay back!
Stay back!
You never step up to a man. Stay back! Stay back! Don't approach my buddy! Do not approach my buddy!
That reminds me of, I'm not your buddy, pal. I'm not your pal, friend. I'm not your friend, buddy.
Yeah, exactly. But he's saying don't approach my buddy whilst you're approaching them.
Yeah.
And all to get him arrested.
You're assaulting my friend! We're following the police will be here in a
We're
second.
following you, stay back. We're following you, stay back.
Yeah.
Yeah?
This is like the weirdest cock tease ever.
He assaulted our friend. He assaulted my friend. Yeah. Failure! Failure!
Again, they're just walking.
This is the physical confrontation equivalent of cock teasing. You're walking towards them and then going, stay back. Walking towards them, stay back. When they're going to blow in their pants, come on now. This is outrageous.
So yeah, they're still following these guys.
Yeah. I mean, look, they're literally all the way down the road now. I mean, I can't even guess how the distance is there, like 500 yards or something. They're so far ahead of where they were.
Oh, okay. Well, they skipped a lot. They skipped the old security guard.
The police, that's fine.
Yeah.
No, that's the policeman. They've cut out the security guard.
Yeah, that was what I was saying. And they're getting right into they're getting right into when the cops come. Because they did call the cops.
A lovely old dude who's like a security guard at one of the buildings there, who steps in and they've cut this bit out, and was just like, I'll go and sort them out, guys. And just walks down the road and it's like, yeah, the police are there, it's fine. And then goes back to work. Fair enough. Kristi?
Sorry, I didn't realize I muted myself because of the traffic, and I didn't realize that I hadn't started yet. So, yeah, on this now. So the cops have put them up against a fence, and I'm trying to get everybody's story. And I guess at this point, it doesn't look like Alex has been handcuffed yet. Maybe he has been handcuffed.
Oh, spoilers.
Well, yes. And then they're going to just basically talk some smack to the cops, and the cops are going to tell them why they're really dumb. So.
He assaulted him, and you come in fire violently.
Right now.
I did not point it at him. I did not point it at him.
Oh, you did?
No.
Look, read that.
Oh, sorry, I'm trying to do the sound and the video at the same time. Go ahead.
No, yeah, sorry. If you just skip back a few seconds so we can read that super chat that gets read out aloud. You can't really hear it very well because it's being played out, but
is that far enough back? Is it? Yep, here it comes.
Yeah.
You want to read it out?
Oh, it says, yeah, we have a gun and we will shoot you. Blue lives don't matter. Kill, 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 kill all cops. We have a gun and we will shoot you. Blue lives don't.
Yeah. That's what his own fans are, having gone out on the music.
Yeah, it's a live stream.
It's live stream. It's live. We have 180 people watched it live.
Why are you still filming, you stupid cunt? What's wrong with you? I think they have handcuffed him. His hands look like they're behind.
Right, that's what I noticed before.
No one got hurt.
Let's get him down there towards the car. I got a cruiser. We can get him in.
He's gonna go in the cruiser now.
Hey, you tell it down there. No.
Yeah. Bye. Have a fun night.
Yep. No problem.
I can't do that on my camera.
No problem.
Yeah,
just got my friend
I'll
arrested.
definitely pay your bail. Yeah, it's all right. My utter fucking stupidity has locked you in prison with very dangerous criminals.
Yep. Now this
I
cop.
think we're basically done at this point.
Oh, come on. There's a little bit of this cop that's awesome.
Oh, okay. If you want it, whatever.
Okay. So, yeah, he's basically going to tell Andy that he is being a moron.
I see here, it's a bunch of guys who are worried they might get in a fight and then he pull a gun on somebody.
They were.
I know, but you don't pull a gun on somebody because they want to fight you.
No, sir.
You don't pull a gun on somebody because they want to fight you.
Yeah, basically, don't be a bitch.
Yeah.
Actually, if you're going to fight, but you don't pull a gun in a fist fight, you idiots.
Yeah, there's no legal defense for that. That's not legal. If someone's approaching you just with fists. You can't just pick up a gun and shoot them in self-defense. That's not how the law works. So, yeah, okay.
Sir,
They don't have already assaulted me earlier.
Sir,
well, in Florida, if they're black, you can.
I see.
I mean, that's been firmly established in precedent in Florida law. If you're black, you can shoot you for whatever. That's fine.
Well, we're talking about the cops. Yeah. We're talking about like how it applies, in these cases. But what we need to find out is if
Judge Zimmerman wasn't a cop,
what?
And he was just being physically assaulted with fists and got a man dead. Kristi, you're muted.
No, I'm not. I just don't know the ins and outs of Florida law. So I don't know what.
I was just making a more general point that in America you can kill black people much more easily. Never mind. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Well, it does matter, but the basic point of this conversation doesn't matter.
Right. We haven't heard whether or not they've got the song we were waiting for.
Yes.
So
from my point of view, that's fine.
You can say whatever you want.
Okay, cool. So basically,
I don't see.
Yeah, ready? Yes. Yeah, but but they had separated him.
Maybe here.
Yeah.
Should we just reveal what the song was?
We love our cops, our law enforcement. We love our military, they're important. It was We Love Our Cops by Frank Alaska.
They actually someone.
Which, I mean, I think is probably one of my favourite pieces of high culture poetry I've ever heard.
That being.
I mean, Byron can suck a dick. Yeah. Quite literally, because he was bisexual. But anyway.
But the fact that they were just stood there being arrested by the cops, and one of their own viewers started playing the Baked Alaska song about loving our law enforcement. It was just
But don't forget, we love our military. They're important.
Right, true. I skipped over that to get to the law enforcement line. Oh my goodness!
It's almost like John Keats didn't die.
With Baked Alaska, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh wow! There goes my speaker.
Walt Whitman wishes he could write fucking poetry like that. Dickhead.
Oh my goodness gracious! Anyway. We started this. How many? 2.5 hours ago.
2.5 hours ago.
That is a happy hour and a half. That's an after bar.
Well, it's two happy hours and a half.
Yeah, because my computer conked out.
Indeed. Well, that's 2 in a row. That's one apiece there.
Yes.
In successive episodes. Fucking hell.
I noticed that. With yours, like Kevin had his problems last week. I had mine. Now we're done.
Exactly. And if you don't like it, audience, you can fuck off. You're getting this for free. What are you expecting here? Really? Jesus.
But oh my gosh, what a show, huh?
Yeah. I can't wait till. I mean, I'd vote for Carl Benjamin, definitely. Definitely. He seems like a person that is definitely an appropriate human being to put forward for an elected office. Honest.
All right. So here's where we're going to do our next bit of prediction. Right? Do you think that before the EU elections, UKIP will? Well, okay. Let me start over. Okay, somebody in UKIP has encouraged both Batten and Carl to apologize. One of their deputies.
Yeah, that would be. Yeah, the deputy, Mike Hookham, who was an MEP. I don't know if he still is. Called on both of them to apologise. Both Carl for the original tweet and Batten for defending it. So. Yeah. Ouch. I think they certainly should remove them. There's no doubt, because I mean they're fucking poison. Ironically, anti-feminism is cancer. So they should, but do I think they will? I don't think Batten's got enough backbone to bother now. I think that in the same way that Carl won't apologise, Batten won't apologise for having selected them, because they're just belligerent little children.
I just, for me, my rational actor calculation would say that a party leader would try to save a party over a potential candidate who's not even elected.
And won't be elected.
And won't be elected. Yes.
No.
So why would you sacrifice your entire party defending this guy who can't win and is driving people away from you and your candidates? So my rational calculation is he can't stay. If he won't apologize to Jess Phillips for what he said to her, I don't see how he can stay. And if he does, oh my God, am I there for that? I want to see the day where he gives a public, because he's a candidate now. He said stuff on television. He can't just go on his YouTube channel and do something.
Yeah.
Oh, so the position he's put himself in.
Oh. That would be amazing. The only thing I think might happen, because I don't think he will apologise, because like I said, I just don't think he's got the balls. He's not a big enough man to do so. It takes an actual man to man up, so to speak, and apologise for that. It takes a strong person. And he doesn't have that strength of character. But I think the only way I can see that Batten would get rid of certainly Carl and probably Dankula as well, is that if he gets really, really sick of having to ask that question, answer that question, which he will be asked in every interview he does from now until the election.
That's it.
Doubt.
That's it. You're right.
UKIP basically want to go Islam, 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 migrants, migrants, migrants. That's their entire fucking thing. Immigration, immigration, immigration. That's yeah. Exactly. That's all. That's the line they want to plug, and they can't get any of that out because it's literally just. So what about the rape and the Nazi pug guy?
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Exactly. That's
it's not going to be possible for them to get their message past that hubbub of just shit. So I mean, yeah, as long as Dankula, to a lesser degree, I suppose, but still, Dankula and Smugly Chuckles are a millstone around that party's neck, and they're going to drag it to the bottom of the ocean unless they cut themselves free.
Yep. Yeah. That's it. Like UKIP is now about these two guys until they deal with these two guys, either through apologies or through expulsion. But it's not going away. And if they don't deal with it, it's just going to continue to destroy any sort of vestiges of support it had from its legacy as a party, all of UKIP.
Yeah, especially because the one thing that makes that absolutely guaranteed is the formation of Farage's Brexit party. Because anyone that sees that and thinks, but I really want to vote for like a really, really pro-Brexit party. Now they have an option that doesn't involve rape tweets and Nazi dogs. So they're going to go with that. Because why would they vote for the Nazi dog? Fucking rape tweet people. Why would you do that, ever?
Yeah, they've got what they want. They've got Nigel back. That's who they wanted in the first place.
They've got Nigel back. They've got at least seemingly a more moderate, although it's still disgusting, party with a set of candidates that are like presentable. They look like human beings rather than petulant little arseholes. So they're going to vote for them, and you can see that's borne out in the numbers already, and the campaign's barely begun. So yeah, they're dead in the water. Well, they've still got those two scumbags around them.
I think I mentioned that Nigel Farage would use the BNP and the EDL to sort of say, we're not that. We're not that. We're something else. And now he can do that with UKIP. Like we took the people who were too, that they went too extreme. They went too fringe. That's not us. And it allows him the cover of looking like he's against extremism.
Yeah. And he's still an extremist himself, of course. But he seems, by comparison, he seems positively angelic, which is worrying in general. But I think it's a short-term thing. And as with UKIP, what you will see with the Brexit Party is if they get, say, 10, 15 MEPs or something, which is not impossible, then they'll lose them to defections and infighting because that's what happens on the right all the fucking time.
Yeah, the whole Leave sort of area right now is in kind of chaos between the Conservatives and the Brexit Party and UKIP. It's all, as you pointed out at the beginning of the show, I think it's completely divided against itself and infighting and everything else. So, yeah. Well. Yeah,
to the point where we're in a bizarre situation where for once the left are staying reasonably united, although let's not pretend it's absolutely perfect, and the right are tearing themselves to pieces to the point where a country that voted to leave the European Union at the moment has a generally pro-EU party, albeit a leader that isn't massively so, but a generally pro-EU party in the Labour Party that's massively in the lead. Because the right are tearing each other to pieces and killing each other. So long may that continue.
Labour just has to kind of claim the mantle of remaining.
Yeah, but Corbyn doesn't want to.
That's the problem.
Ultimately. But I think, he's going to have to bow to pressure eventually, because even his hardcore supporters in Momentum, who are essentially his kind of army, so to speak, are very pro-Remain.
I'm kind of
when
hoping.
it comes down to it, if they get all of these votes together, and let's say they win, was it 33% of the votes? If let's say they get 30% of the vote and get, roughly half of the MEPs or something, that's going to force his hand. I think that pressure.
Yeah.
Especially the longer Brexit carries on, because he doesn't want to do a deal naturally, because A, politically it's expedient for him, but B, the deal he would have to cut with Theresa May is going to be shit, because her deal is shit. So why would he help her out? What's the incentive from him or the country's point of view? So the longer Brexit drags on and on, the more the obvious solution is, well, let's just not. It's a shit thing to be doing. Let's just not.
So before we go really quick, I'm going to address something Owen May wrote in the chat. You overestimate how much people care about cringy Twitter tweets. People that trust mainstream media probably don't vote UKIP anyway. I'm talking about the UKIP actual sort of voting base, which is your more rural areas, older people. And in terms of estimating the cringy Twitter tweets, it's not the Twitter part of it, it's the content of the tweet. And it's also his attitude and how he's presenting himself and how the leadership of UKIP is reacting. Now, when your grandma sees that and she sees this guy acting like a smugly chucking little shit stain, and then Batten going to bat for him, and then there's Nigel Farage doing basically the UKIP party she voted for in 2014, that is making a difference. You can see it in the polls already.
Yeah. Farage is getting generally positive press. And the UKIP
oh my gosh,
shit press.
So hold on. Sorry, stuff. Oh no, someone was saying that Carl did resigned, and I believe them, but I don't think it's the case. I think they were playing a prank on us.
Anyway, okay. But the point being that actually UKIP, the people who vote UKIP do trust the media. It's just that they trust people like the Daily Mail and the Sun, who have all come out and said that these people are horrible. You heard it earlier. The Sun called Carl a sicko in the fucking headline. That's the headline. Yeah. We didn't even read the story. The headline said sicko, and they misspelt Danciula's name.
Danciular.
Right. Which makes him sound a lot posher, actually. Count Danciular. That could be a real person, Count Danciular.
Could be.
Yeah. I could see that being an actual count. And Lord Smugly of Chuckles. Absolutely. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, they do trust the media actually, and like you say, Farage is getting a lot of good press because he's not UKIP, because he's not those fucking people. Which you'd be surprised how far that goes. Because like you say, you got to bear in mind, UKIP's voting base is largely older and conservative, and not just conservative in the general sense, socially conservative. They're not going to like jokes about rape and using cussing words in press conferences and calling people bitch. They don't want that from a politician. They're not used to it from politicians. They don't like it from politicians.
Just look at how the two women in the UKIP story from Channel 4 reacted when they were on camera.
No, I don't condone that. No.
Right? And that's
the candidates. Imagine what the voters are thinking.
Yep.
The voters are thinking, fuck this noise. And that's why you're at 5% and falling. As if you can fall much further. Jesus.
Well, so we'll wait to see. I think that's the exciting part of politics. What's going to happen? Will Carl resign? Will he be deselected? Will he just be humiliated on the night? Will I have a chance to see him live in person?
Yeah, that's the thing. I kind of want it to go up. I kind of want it to go to the full election just to see him crushed. Just to see how poorly he does. I want to see his smugly chuckle face turn into a frowny face.
Yeah, let's go to the count. We'll go to the Hustings. I keep saying Hastings. We'll go to the Hustings, and then we'll go.
We can't really go to the. We can go to the event that is the count, but we can't actually get into the count because we're not officials or whatever. But I suppose we could go to a Hustings event.
People, when they do the announcement, the reading at the end, who gets to go to those?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's just us going to be stood in some drafty town hall somewhere in fucking Somerset or something.
Yeah, watching Carl on a crickety
I'd fancy
skate
that.
with his purple boutonniere.
Yeah, that's true.
And UKIP 17
Yeah,
votes.
but we've learned that you might want to rate me, so I don't know if I want to put myself out there in front of him. I think he's dangerous. I think the police need to look into him.
Yeah, well, and on that bombshell, we should probably end the show. We've been going an insanely long time, and this was a lot of fun. I'm glad we had.
People can come and join me in fucking hell an hour and 15 minutes when I'll be talking to Vadim Newquist of Creationist Cat on my channel if my voice holds out.
Yeah, go over to Kevin's channel right after in an hour and so and change and listen to him and or watch him talk to Vadim. Should be fun.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I've got. I'm sure Weekend Winter's coming up on Sunday. I haven't started thinking about that yet, but I'll be doing a show on Sunday, and well, Kevin and I will definitely be keeping an eye on this story to see if anything happens over the weekend. We'll be keeping an eye on the media. If you guys see stuff, tag us in.